Hello, Ms. You should be. Are we on? Are we on? Is it working? Is it working? Are we live? Everybody get up. Look busy, look busy, look busy.
Welcome.
Look busy, everybody. Look busy.
But not though. I can just see. You can just see WTF. Oh, no, it's an advert. It's fine. It's fine.
Is it live? Are we live?
OMG.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. Hello.
Watson.
Hello. Please tell me it's working. Can everyone hear? Everybody. This is like the fastest makeshift. Oh God! Seriously, Miz is now taken over again.
Yes, it's my show.
Miz.
I will own it.
I tell you,
welcome everybody to the Miz and Madness show.
I've had enough of this. This is doing my head in. That's it. I quit. I'm done. I can't be bothered. I've had enough today.
Christmas is cancelled. Tell your kid.
I've had enough.
It's all over.
I can't take it. Santa Claus. Come and take it away from me.
And welcome.
I've had enough. Oh.
Problem is, he hasn't actually started drinking.
Yeah, he hasn't yet. So how is everybody? Yes, as you can see, we are having quite a few technical difficulties. Apparently, I want to take over the stream and the world.
Yes.
So
It looks like a virus.
He's taking over. He's just as there. I'm having to do this live. I apologize.
Do you know when you used to look at porn sites and you go, "Oh, click this link to reveal the lady," and it's like millions of screens come up. That's pretty much what happened. You dirty boys, you all tried to click to see me naked. I know. That's what happens.
You're watching Magic
I'm
in
so sorry.
I'm behind
It's
you,
behind you.
shoulder still.
Don't worry. Oh, it's getting very cozy right now.
You just look me in the eye. Don't do it.
Don't look him in the eye. Don't look him in the eye.
It's alright. I'm still here. It's fine. No,
There you go.
There you
There he goes. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Well,
that was special.
More line when you said it's a special Christmas special.
I have quite literally had to shut down my second PC, get all the wires from that was plugged into that, now plug back into this, then reset all the defaults. Oh, and then like I pray to God that I've got any sort of thing set up, which we did, but unfortunately you'll notice the snow pile on top of Jester's is slightly dashing off to the right now. So this is just the amateur
least
show.
of the problems. That's the least of the issues.
My God, yeah.
All right. So yes, everybody, as we said about an hour and a half ago, welcome everybody to the Addicted podcast episode number 50, our Christmas special. We were undecided whether we were going to do next week, which is why this is the Christmas special.
I think we've
decided it's not going to happen.
Oh no, well, maybe not on my other PC. I'm going to have another look at this one. I can't believe that XSplit like sucked up 90% of its CPU just for a few fluffy little animations. What the hell? We're going to have words with Intel and Xeon processors.
It says a few. Most of the overlays suck anyways.
Yeah, they're all just rubbish. Just plain rubbish. Right then, so did anyone actually stay? Or are we just talking to ourselves?
I think we got.
Oh, we got 10 people. Woo!
A couple of hardcores.
We got a couple of hardcore people.
Black screen. They're going to go now that there's no longer a black screen.
That's like
actually, no, they thought they were watching WTF. It's like, who the fuck are these clowns? Just come on.
Yeah. They're like, oh, WTF. So we are now live. We are here. Yes, there hasn't been a huge amount of Star Citizen stuff to talk about this week, but we will manage. We will endeavour, and we will.
And that is in no way related to the fact that we had technical difficulties. No way.
No. We haven't strategically positioned it so that an hour was wasted, so that now we look like we're actually got more
on time again.
No. Not at all.
So how is everybody? Thank you for joining us as always. And today's special guest is Mr. CRPJester. Welcome.
Yes, thank you.
To your Is it your first time on the Addicted
It is his first time.
And what a first time.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome.
One to remember.
Awesome
One to remember. Thank you. It's been a while.
I got violated by Miserable somehow on stream.
We do it for the first timers. It's okay.
it's part of the initiation. Normally it's done off stream, but unfortunately we couldn't do it. We had to do it on the stream.
I was in the army, not the navy. I'm just saying.
Oh, damn. Right, let me get...
fired.
Let me...
Came here for stout and sturdy. Well, soon. You come to the wrong channel for that one.
Yes, stout and sturdy. Soon. Yeah, not my channel. That's Mrs. channel. That's a professional channel.
Let's... I don't know if you're trying to sort anything else at the moment, man.
I'm just bringing up the Google Doc link ready to talk about, basically.
Okay,
so
some
bits and bobs.
We normally go around and ask everybody what they've been up to. So, Jester, if you want to tell us a little bit about you and what you've been up to.
Yeah, who are you? What do you do?
Tell everybody who you are. Go for it.
Oh man, I'm a real life firearms instructor, day by day, man. I do private lessons during the week, usually concealed carry classes at weekends, and I got into Star Citizen because my friends were just annoying me with the idea of getting into this game. And then they stopped and said they're going to wait for 3.0, so I figured to start streaming to meet new people.
Oh, nice. And did they come back for 3.0?
They did, and they were gone again.
Cool. Came back, saw, and went again.
They came and they were like, oh. Yeah.
Wait, now I'm getting my ass kicked by you? How'd this happen?
So are they going to wait until the 4.0 now, or have they just decided to give up completely?
No, they'll probably come back when it goes live.
Yeah.
They're on that Destiny 2 bandwagon.
Well, all right.
I was on it for a while, but it's kind of... Yeah, I played so much of Destiny 1 for me that it's hard to... It's not enough of newness for me still. It's still too much of the same.
I'm enjoying it. It's just that I've got a shit ton of stuff to do at the moment. So,
D&D.
Yeah, I haven't had much chance to do that. So, yeah, that's that. So, for my week, was it this week we streamed, or... last week we streamed together, Madness. I think it was again, wasn't it? The weeks just kind of blur.
Yeah, we did our dual stream.
Dual stream on the Tuesday, I think it was. Yep. Fun, but as always, riddled with bugs.
Yeah.
So we had I had a lot of CPU spikes. Yours wasn't too bad, I think. Overall, you had quite a good stream in the end, and I was just the poor cousin that was there lagging behind, locking up every few seconds. But we did, it was a really good stream. We managed to get two dragonflies into the back of the Cutlass. One was parked on the roof upside down. Don't really know how that happened. And then the other one was parked against the wall on its side. I think we are, when it comes to going live, Madness and I are going to be professional crate stackers. We're going to get more goods in your ship than you can believe possible.
Yes, we will be able to get dragonflies on walls and on ceilings. Don't you worry. Not a problem. Absolutely. Mrs. Pro at doing that. Getting them out without causing serious destruction might be tricky. But it's... I don't know about you, but I've been trying to do some of the missions finally now because the CPU and because the frames are good enough. And consistent enough. The game doesn't crash so much to do it. But it's still problematic.
For me, I haven't tried since that day we were streaming, so I've had nothing but issues, really.
Right, okay.
I mean, we did manage to do the ride around the dragonflies, which was good fun.
Right on the back?
That. Well, we did both. So we had two dragonflies. We both went out on them, and then we did a little bit where I was on the back and Madness was in control. But we still, I mean, mine just went crazy. It flew halfway out to atmosphere. I think that was how we ended it, wasn't it? You were waiting for me in the sunset for me to drive past. Yeah. I was coming along, and mine, for some reason, just decided to fly up into atmosphere. And then it came crashing back down, and as it just slammed back down, it just literally blew up and killed me. It's like, that's great.
No, that didn't happen.
It did.
No such thing as bugs in this 3.0 alpha.
Well, no, it wasn't a bug. It was obviously made as intended.
I think, do you know what the interesting thing was? Because in that section, me and Miz, we spent ages trying to, we wanted to get 2 dragonflies on planet and then in daytime and fly on the planet. And it was a good 2 hours, I think, before we actually achieved what should have been quite a relatively simple thing. Mechanic wise, feature complete and all that. And, I thought it wouldn't be too difficult, but it wasn't. But we finally did it, and we managed to actually get the bikes to actually do reasonably well, hovering and stuff. It wasn't too bad. But I was on today with the hover because I was thinking, well, I've seen ATV. They say they're really proud about their hover bikes. They think that their hover bikes are superb. So I was like, well, okay, then maybe, let's do it. Let's try it. And it was terrible. It was dark as well. That was the only thing, is in the nighttime I can't see anything, so you've got no chance. But I was like down here, up here, into the atmosphere, and then I was just flying around cruising, then all of a sudden it would just go woo and just randomly do a loop. And I was like, I'm not even holding the keys. It's just feature complete. I don't think so. I did ask Miz, do they play this? Do they play their own game before they put out these ATVs and say it's great?
Well, there was one build I tested, and it's a bit like that now. Even you go in and there's like 50 buttons to get into the ship, and then when you're in the ship, I looked left and there was no exit. There was just to open the canopy, close the canopy, and then you realise it's up above your head. I don't know if they have changed it now, so the exit was like up there, floating completely different position to all the other buttons.
The exit to space.
And it's like, have they even played to look at the UI and think this is a good one? And it's like, no, it's not working. It's not good.
It's not working.
Coffee says, he'd hire you guys to pack his Hull E and he'll wait at the bar.
Would.
I gotta tell you though, we did do some tests to blow up a fully loaded Starfare and a fully loaded Caterpillar, and the big crates turn into little crates. You do lose some of the cargo, but there'll be hundreds of little crates out there. And I'd hate to see how long it would and we were out there for at least half an hour trying to pick it up with 3 different ships.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what a Hull E would look like just blowing up in space.
Could you imagine? Yeah, they have to have some sort of tractor beam of some sort of like collecting them together. There's no way. And I'm thinking, if you were to build the mechanics for that, you've got to somehow. Would they bring them all in like in a net and then just dump them all down, and then you'd have to go in like as if it's like a giant jigsaw piece or something, and then manually put them all in on top of each other? Or would there be like an automatic that would make them all line up beautifully next to each other into perfect little squares? Do you know what I mean?
We're probably so far away from understanding the feature of how they're going to load up the whole E. I mean, it's going to take ages. It takes ages to just take one box into the back of a car. So.
I was thinking the tractor beam on the Caterpillar, man. It's just going to push everything into the cargo hole. And yes, I got it. You're going to fly off, and it's all going to be falling out underneath the floorboards.
Yeah, exactly. That's my thing. That's exactly it. That's exactly my thing. I was just thinking, once you suck it all into your ship, like there's got to be some sort of way that it'll have to be either put into like a big giant Santa sack, as we're on the Christmas theme. You know what I mean?
How does Santa keep his presents in this
How
way?
That's what
he? We need his secrets.
Santa's actually a pirate in Star Citizen. That's what Santa's actually going to be. He's just going to be going around robbing everybody, and he's be like, "Ha! I'm the only one with a giant sack, able to collect all these things from space." So yeah, no. I'm curious, very curious. We'll wait and see, I guess, in the future. So one of the things this week, because we all know who I am, and I don't really, we've done anything. Is anyone else want to add anything they want to talk about on the intro before we bust into? I was going to talk about.
We could fill an hour talking about D&D if you like.
I just want to let the whole audience know that this isn't actually snow below me. Miserable brought this up. This is actually a little bit of madness's salt below me.
Yeah, we are literally in his salt shaker at the moment.
Yes, we are.
It's kind of building up in the corners of our little displays.
Tell me to quit moving around on camera, man. That's hard. I'm going to be covered here in a minute.
Hey, at least I got.
Just slowly bring him down as the podcast goes, like as if he's getting full up.
I got my reindeer on. Woo! Miz has gone full outfit. Actually, Miz, stand up. Show the people what you're wearing.
I know you ugly Christmas sweaters. Look at you two.
Look at us with our. Check it out. That's awesome. It's such a shame we couldn't get the stream to work so well at the beginning. The intro started so well. It was so slick.
It did. You did a nice intro already. No one can hear us.
Amazing.
No one can see us.
And then the audio just went. It all just literally. It was. Do you know what? It was. I was basically preparing everybody for the 20. Is it the 21st? Hang on. When is it? Yeah, the 21st.
Oh, the live stream, yeah.
I'm preparing you all. I'm just preparing you all. Just that's the level of quality to expect, okay? Because if everyone watched last year's, they'll know what happened for the Addicted podcast. pretty much the same what happened to me.
And for those of you that was here the first time it went live, that intro video that we showed off was by somebody called the Frosthound. I don't know actually what his username is in Star Citizen, but I'll just put a link in chat so you can watch it and give it a thumbs up and stuff, because it's an amazing video. So
amazing
video.
Really
good job with it.
Absolutely, it will be on my my waiting to when I go away to get a drink and I'll go for a piss. That will be the video that will come up all the time for a while. It's the voice acting is fantastic, and the scenery.
It might be a good idea to ask them before you start using it. But
it's free advertisement for them. I thought they would have appreciated it, but
not if you don't tell them where you got it from. It's gonna use your stuff.
It's got a great big logo on it.
Mine.
But yeah, okay, fair enough. I'm not claiming it as mine, but yeah. So we have the netcode special information. So you're gonna have to bear with.
Talking of netcode.
Talking of big problems with computers and netcodes and all this stuff. So this was out. This is like literally today, I believe, on Reddit. And we were talking about this earlier in my stream. This is to do with a netcode special. So I'm going to be bringing up
on Spectrum. You mean?
Yeah. So boom. Yeah. Sorry, Jester, you're slightly squished here on this one, but you can hide behind it. The netcode special. So we're just going to shrink it down here, and then that way everyone can still be in the chat. No one can read it apart from me.
No one can read it, so it just
so no, I can just say whatever I want and lie. So from
what it says is we're going live now. No, just
yeah, we're going to go live. No, he talks about. He says, I would love to know if you have a detailed special on the netcode. How it's developed. Are you planning to do that? Are we going to see more? Blah, blah, blah. And then the CIG responded by saying, thanks for your interest. As far as we're aware, currently aren't any plans on a netcode special. Most of what we do on the netcode team is hidden from view. So it would be cool to be able to give the community an update and go into detail about what's been done and where we go from here. If the community team feel there is enough interest in something like this, then I'm sure it will happen. So I think this is one of the reasons why it's kind of been bumped into the Reddit world, because I think a lot of people want to know, actually, to be honest.
So I think they mean like a kind of, we have the ATV specials are based around different subjects. So this would be one of those ATVs where Madness goes, it was shit.
Yeah.
It was shit.
It was
because he doesn't like it. So but that's what they're basically asking for. They want a more technical information about the netcode.
No pretty pictures, just technical.
90% of them won't understand anyways.
No, but I mean, I think people just want to know a bit more. I would be happy, honestly, if it was done. It doesn't have to be an ATV. It could just be the guy who runs it just does like either a quick interview with somebody, like it'd just be like literally as if we were doing a, like on Batgirl or something. Do you know what I mean? Like she does just a very quick interview, or the guys did where, you know, you just interviewed, I think it was they did Jay Lee, Frontier guys just had Jay Lee on. Just that type of thing would have been fine. Doesn't need to be a big ATV special.
You might as well stick it on Citizens of the Stars. It's not like they actually show off. It's not like they actually show off the citizens, is it? So.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, scandalous. Scandal. That was shots fired by Miz there with his Christmas hat on. He's just gone violent with his costume.
It's true though, isn't it?
Yes, it is partly true. They do have citizens. Well, they have citizens at the beginning. They have a little interview, and then
you mean that when you blink and you miss it?
Yeah, and then they have the little bit at the end where they show what people have done, which is quite nice. I like that. Everything that we've already seen, if anyone's on Reddit and knows what they're looking for, but it's still nice.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't know about anybody else here, but Reddit is literally just a massive, like tons and tons of just desktop screensaver pictures everywhere. Like I'm just wading through them.
Same, to be honest.
It's just unbelievable amount of people think that they are like got a great at photography. And it's just like every photo, everyone like I've got these pictures of people like, hey, it's like selfie heaven. Look at me, I'm by Levski. Look at me, I'm by this food machine. Look at me, I'm by this thing. Look at me, I've just unloaded my Rover. Look at me, I'm just standing on Levski. Look at me. It's like every 5 seconds someone's taking a photo of it. I mean, I don't blame them. It is beautiful.
But you have to admit that that's nicer than all the salt that normally gets kicked around.
That's true.
That's all that Facebook is right now too, though.
That's true.
Yeah, Facebook, Twitter, and Reddit is just selfies, selfie heaven. But I mean, that's one thing you can't deny even with the PTU, it looks fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. Just don't blame him. I'm like that. I'm like that. I'm like PS like all the time. Immediately into the third person view. PS. Oh, look at that sunset. Oh, poof. PS.
It's not a third-person game as such. It's like you constantly want to go into it just to have a look at the scenery and as you're landing and stuff.
Yeah, especially for landing. That is. I was talking to someone. I was talking to somebody. Or I was reading it. Somebody was complaining. Wasn't complaining. They were just making a general observation that, why does, on big ships like the Caterpillar, for example, why is it that you can't park it from the cockpit? You always have to change the view. He said, everyone I ever see fly the Caterpillar or any of these large ships, even small ships, to be fair, I'm doing it. You change the camera angle to the outside view to get your angles and bearings, and then land.
You kind of need a little hologram of your ship, don't you? Because they've got that bar in the middle, so you know whether you're straight that way, but you don't know whether you're straight around you type of thing.
That was, I think you kind of like, there was a few things I was thinking. Is one, they could potentially add more, like if when you've like if you're very rich and you have like a Range Rover, or even nowadays most cars tend to have
now half
the
of them
cameras.
Starting to get now, aren't they? The latest one with the camera in the rear to see where your reverse parking is. Yeah.
So maybe they'll do it so that maybe the HUDs, because you've got lots of HUDs. Maybe if you do the landing gear, all the HUDs turn into cameras all around.
That would be really good. So when you press like N to put your landing gear down,
they all change to cameras, and then you can see all the back and the sides and all the views of your ship from the seat, and then you could potentially. But I agree with you as well. I think they should be that hologram indicator to show you the positioning of your ship, like to say where the land is, and kind of like you could potentially follow it from that. I want to be able to land it in first person as much as I can land it.
Well, even if they they do something like taxiways at an airport where they have the yellow markers where you kind of get an idea, this is for a 757, this is for a 737, so the pilot knows when to stop their ship.
Yeah, but I think
that's cool. I mean,
would that help if you were just going dead down though? Because like your ship stopped, but it's like how you sort of go down, isn't it? Because it's hard to judge whether there's any rocks. Well, I suppose like you said, if there's lines, you'd know that you're in a more
so basically
a flatter area. Yeah.
You have a center line coming straight down the middle, and that's your center piece for any of the ships. But the Caterpillar is offset to the left, so you can have a little yellow line off to the left, and it will say cat. So you got your cockpit. You got to be looking straight at it as you're coming down.
Yeah.
I suppose the only difficulty with that is obviously landing out in the rough. Like just anywhere on the planet, you won't have that help. So.
Keelblock says we can land in first person with Elite, so they should do a similar landing radar. I haven't actually seen the landing radar in Elite Dangerous. If you are feeling sprightly and would like to find it on YouTube for me, I would love to check it out and just to compare it. But I've never played Elite, so I can't compare. So I'd love to compare.
Back in a sec.
That would be wicked. So that was we were slightly off on the netcodes to the landing thing, but that was just something I kind of was thinking about with the landing and stuff. The netcode myths. I'm just going to go back to netcode myths because this was another thing that popped up, which I thought was interesting. I don't know if you knew about all this, Jester. If you probably do. You seem like a smart enough chap. So he says there are a few myths that seem to get repeated quite a lot. He says here, please allow me to dispel them. One, the graphics pipeline does not wait for server updates. Server FPS does not affect client FPS. Netcode does not make clients run slowly and never has. Netcode does not make servers run slowly anymore, even though we've added more clients. You get better performance on newer servers because there are fewer players on them, so your client has to do less work, like physics, animation, blah, 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 which is kind of makes sense. Players hacking, and we know about that to do with offline mode. What is so hard about fixing the performance problems is the game is pushing the engine way beyond what it was designed to handle. Fixing that means fundamentally changing how systems work while simultaneously trying not to break everything in the game. Big performance gains that require making big changes take time, which we understand. Sometimes we have to do a lot of restructuring before we can even start working on optimization, which again makes sense. Let's not forget that performance is not the only goal here. We're trying to achieve fidelity levels not seen before. Fidelity is often the enemy of performance, so we find ourselves having to optimize even further than we otherwise would have to. So in a way, kind of Chris Roberts kind of shot himself a little bit in the foot by making the game so high fidelity. I mean, judging
and
on
using the wrong engine.
And using the wrong engine, clearly. Or maybe there wasn't an engine, and maybe he should have just built an engine from the ground up, but which they've pretty much done now. Because I sometimes wonder if there's something with the CryEngine.
Off the basis of CryEngine.
I wonder if there's something in CryEngine that's, not good, and it would have been better to, I don't know. I
think there was
beyond me.
Someone did mention a different program that someone's using. I don't know which one it was now. I can't remember, but it would have been an alternative. But I think they're too far down the path now that they've just got to. I think they'll break it on how to do it on this netcode that they got, and the engine they're using is just obviously taking a bit of time to try and get through that. I think.
Yeah, but it was interesting what they said though about the netcode does not make. It says here, netcode does not make servers run slowly anymore.
Yeah.
Even though we've added more clients. So anymore. So at some point it did, though, make things run slowly. So now supposedly it doesn't.
I think it's like a knock-on effect. So although it's not affecting your frames, the data getting through or something.
I think we have suffered so many CPU spikes, our CPUs can't handle the game anymore.
Yeah, it's just burnt out all our CPUs. No, that's not true.
Keel's just sent me a link.
I must have sent it directly.
Yeah, it's just sent it to me. So this is
down towards it.
Okay, so this is landing. This is Elite Dangerous' landing. So we're going back again now just to what we were talking about landing. So this is from first person view landing. So I'm interested to see. I'm going to bring it up on the screen a bit bigger so we can see it. Sorry, Jester, you're about to be
I don't care.
Squished.
I'm just here to cut you off, man.
My bad. No, I normally have a separate screen, but today it's just going to be make do for now. Okay, so here we go. Is landing. I mean, the auto landing, by the way, worked very well when it worked. So hopefully they'll bring the auto landing back. That was.
I mean, that's. I think that isn't that kind of. Oh yeah, the center radar shows you the orientation of the ship. Yeah, which is what I was kind of on about.
Yeah.
They just give you that little hologram of your ship. You at least know whether you're flat or.
Boom, done. That for me just makes complete sense.
Still wouldn't freaking help me save.
Makes complete sense for me. That does.
I think they still have auto land. I'm just saying.
They do, but it's not working, or it wasn't working, or maybe I don't know. I haven't checked the patch notes to see if it's back.
I don't feel like I'm immersed enough.
Immersion.
What with auto landing?
Yeah.
I liked it.
I never got into the airlines.
I liked it for stopping me being stuck at Cryastro in 2.6. It was very, very helpful. Very helpful. So I mean, I learned to enjoy it, and it's amazing how sometimes you could be going really fast and it would catch you before you smashed into the station and pull you back and land you, which was very helpful. So I'm all for automatic landing, is all I'm saying. All for it.
If there's no auto landing, I might not have many ships left.
I was landing fine, exactly. I was landing. To be honest, there's a few things that was fine in 2.6. Like most of the dogfighting, apart from a few things, the balancing and the flight mechanics were pretty good. And part of me wonders, like, how could they fuck it up so bad? Because they got so good with 2.6, and it seems to be, I was looking online, and somebody was posting the same thing. Mouse sensitivity. It's not just me. Mouse sensitivity seems to be a big issue at the moment, and I don't know, Jester, you're dual sticks, is that right?
Yeah, I switched to dual sticks in the last few days of 263.
Yeah, so you're dual sticks. So how are you finding dual sticks? And then I'll talk about mouse now versus 3.0 versus 2.6 in terms of the curves, and is it the same?
It's a lot of adjusting and getting used to it because your SCM speeds are much higher.
Okay.
So the dogfight itself feels a lot slower. You don't feel like you're able to strafe. You don't feel like any of that in comparison. Yeah. So you just got to go with what you're used to. And Jolly didn't change much, for example, and he's been doing really well. A few of the guys that haven't changed anything are doing really well.
Just as normal, no problems.
As normal, no problems. They just feel like the dogfight's going a little slower because we can actually go so much faster in a straight line now.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Is that with the boost feature?
Yeah, and well, the boost doesn't allow you can't use the.
Not boost. Sorry, I meant the afterburn, like the auto cruise, almost like cruise type thing that we had before.
You can't use it unless you're, not strafing left or right.
Yeah.
But it literally turns into a turn battle. It's a turn fight now, and it's always going to be somebody strafing to the right.
That's the thing is I noticed I've not done much dogfighting because I was trying today for the first time to get into Arena Commander. Nope. Nope. Would not let me in. It wouldn't let me in. It kept putting my body without my spaceship, just hovering in space. Every time. Reset, restart, nothing. So I couldn't get in at all to play a game in Arena Commander just to try it out and to see how poorly I would perform. But fighting the NPCs, I think I've killed one small ship without it running out of fuel. Every other ship has run out of fuel before I've been able to kill it because I'm fighting the ship all the time. I'm fighting the mouse sensitivity is off the scale. I have to bring. My DPI is right down. I've got obviously one of those fancy mouses that you can go up and down the DPI. So I've got up to 4,500 was my DPI in 2.6. But now it's right down to 200, like 100 and something, I think it is, on my lowest setting, just to be able to keep it fairly smooth, because it's so twitchy. Like, and the nose is just.
I did find mine twitchy, but I don't know if that's the curves or just the server or what. But even with joystick, it felt like just little movements, and it was all over. It was quite twitchy at the moment, but.
And when you're fighting a mouse and keyboard pilot now because they are just all over the place.
Yeah, no,
Bunsen.
Yeah,
poor Bunsen. But it's true. It's really true. And I'm reading here. It says I'm trying to reach out as far as other users are having similar issues. Any mouse users seeing issues with mouse sensitivity and ship handling, please contribute and upvote. So obviously this person wants more people to vote for him. But he's like basic troubleshooting attempts were made to outline. He's just not sure what's going on, and I feel his frustration because I kind of looked on it on Robert to see where he's posted it, and let me just sign in. You're not going to sign me in? No, of course you're not going to sign me in. Never mind.
It's interesting what you said about the whole duel thing, though, or circle strafe combat, because like they wanted to do away. The whole reason they changed the speeds was so that you'd do away with the jousting type of combat, but they seem to be struggling to get that balance between jousting and just then someone just constantly circle strafing all the time.
I'd almost say that you'd be able to get away with strafing because the SCMs are so much higher on the Buccaneer and Saber now that you can catch a Hornet fairly quick. So yeah, you'd be able to get away as long as you can maintain that damage.
Yeah.
So yeah, which requires good skill on the. I don't need my mouse to be going all over the place, so I need to keep it on the target. So
future dogfighting is dual keyboards.
Dual keyboards.
Future of dogfighting is the missiles, because if you get hit by one, you're fucked.
Yeah, this is what I've heard as well. The missiles are just. But I don't
just run away.
I'm torn between like understanding why the missiles are so good versus for fun, like, and for what is meant to be a skill-based game. How what is just literally a press and fire mechanic is skill-based. Do you know what I mean? That's my only issue with missiles. It's like there's no real skill in just pressing one button to lock on.
Well, the only thing they can really do is make
release.
It cost a shit ton for them.
Yeah, that's what people say to me all the time, but that doesn't make it fun whilst we play. It is to work on the game whilst it's free and it's cost them nothing.
No. Well,
it doesn't make it a lot of fun. I mean, it does make me better at dodging missiles, so I'm not going to complain too much. But
for example, to fill up the quantum field, Cryastra for your Cutlass is only like 40 alpha UEC, but to fill those, 12 missiles on that thing, 12 or 16 missiles, it's like $3,000 or more.
Yeah, my wife's just commenting on what I look like. She's like, I don't know if you look like an elf or Santa or what.
It could be worse. You could look like me. So
we go.
And those
Dual
good
mouse.
Pilots are, they're practicing every day in Free Flight, man. Free Flight USA, they're in there.
I would practice every day if I could have got into my spaceship. I would have liked to have tried, but I'm gonna have to recopy my PTU account, I think, for the 4th time, to try and get in because it's just not working. So we'll get it in though. We'll get in. We'll practice. I've spoken to a few guys. This week is going to be this week, and then rolling into next year, I will be hardcore training again to get good at fighting. So
I think you should use hardcore farming.
That's going to be later when the mechanics are in. There's no farming in the game yet, so that's my goal. That will be my end goal. Will be
dead bodies as they
farming.
crash to the surface.
I mean, you can farm the derelicts. They're there regardless, even if the missions aren't coming up. So
that's not my type of farming, though. I'm thinking more land-based with kind of space.
He wants to get his hoe.
You want a land claim?
I don't want a land claim. I want to get one for free, considering I'm going to
use somebody else's land claim.
Maybe that would be quite nice. So what have we got next on the great topic of conversations out there? Oh, actually, you know what? This was pretty cool. I saw this. I'm going to bring this up on the video. So I'm going to bring up Jester. Sorry, dude, you're about to be blocked out for a few seconds. Boom. This is made up. I don't know if anyone's seen this before. Cool. This is really, really cool. It's made up of all the different people's logos. And I don't know. I was looking at it going, logos. Can you find your logo? Can you find your org in here?
I'll tell you what really stands out on those ones when I was looking at them. The ones that really, I could see was the yellow logos with the black icon. I saw about 4 different ones on there. I was like, oh, well, they stand out a hell of a lot more than the others.
Well, you know what that is, right? You know that's why they paint JCBs yellow. It's because on your visual spectrum, I believe, to the very farthest corner of your visual spectrum, you can still see yellow. So if you say, for example, you're on like a building site or a working site, the idea is that obviously these machines are obviously dangerous. You don't want to get hit by them. So the idea is that you can see them, even just the tiniest fraction of them. It's literally, I think that's right. I mean, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's to do with, it's a really strong color that you can see.
It's obviously to do with visibility, and yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
It's also, think about animals in the wild, dangerous colors. You know, poisonous is usually yellow and black, right?
Yeah.
Because it's to do with like, whoa, makes your eyes just go
I'm trying to think when I'm diving what colors go last, but I can't remember where I click yellow.
So yeah. So anyone in chat, do you recognize can you tell me where yours is? Where's are you?
The link to that? And give me a moment, I'll send you the link to that.
Give me the link, I'll find that thing.
You want the link? I'll check
yeah. I'll just offer like a, I don't know.
There it is. There it is. There's the link. Find your
you done
org.
It? Okay, cool.
See if you can find it, because I was like, well, I'm only one-man org, so I'm going to be probably in the farthest corner somewhere.
One-man org. Do you think that's how they've done it?
No, it was just a guess. I was just thinking it would be
probably like, alphabetical, isn't it?
Can anyone see test?
I didn't actually. Considering I said I could see coloured stuff, I couldn't see test.
Anyone's org there? Anyone? I'm looking to see if anyone can see theirs.
I don't have an org yet. Well, I do, but I haven't got it made, so I don't.
Can anyone see any orgs that they are actually? It's really hard. I might have to save it and then upload it later. But anyway, I don't know if they've got another view. Have they got another view now? Just that one. Anyway, that was pretty cool. I saw that and I was like,
red goes first. Well, as you're diving, yeah, I know. There's like you lose colours as you go down. I'm trying to think. I think it just goes green. I think green's one of the longest ones that you keep for longer.
Greens are meant to be like a really soothing color. So very like it doesn't like it's meant to be very relaxing.
Yeah, but when you go down as you go diving, the deeper you go in the sea, the less the light reflects back, and you lose the coloring because it stops penetrating that deep and reflecting back up or whatever it is.
I don't go that
technical
deep
stuff. Technical stuff.
Terrifies me going deep in water. Terrifies me.
I hate deep water.
Yeah.
Honestly.
See, the thing is, I didn't until the missus tried diving, and then she goes, "Oh, I don't want to go that deep, and what if I lose my mask?" And now I can't. Every time I dive, I can't help but think, "Shit, I'm 30 meters down, and you're not supposed to go straight back up." And because I did like advanced open water, you have to go 30 meters down, take your mask completely off, and then and your breathing apparatus go like that, get it back and put it back in again, and then put your mask back on. And everything else, and it's like, yeah, that was fun. 30 meters under, and the woman I was doing the course with this other woman, and she. So first of all, you kind of let underneath your mask a little bit to let a bit of water in, just to get used to it a little bit as it fills your goggles up. But she did that a bit, and completely panicked and started shooting up to the surface. The instructor had to like grab her by the ankle to stop her from going straight up. otherwise it would have just like caused a nightmare. So it's like,
good job, Captain. Oh, that would freak me. I'm sorry. I mean, I love water. Don't get me wrong, but I love being able to see the bottom of the swimming pool. Generally, that's kind of as a rule. That's kind of my thing. I like to know.
It wasn't so much the bottom of the swimming pool that scared me, man. It was when I looked up and saw that mirror reflection, and that's what it's like. How far am I really down? Went up to the top, and then she's like, "You're only like 20 meters."
But that's it. If you go down and you can't see the bottom, you actually can technically, if you go upside down stuff, you then lose your orientation. You don't know which way's up and which way's down, which is that starts getting a bit interesting.
Well, you're not sold it for me ever. I did scuba diving and then I was like I said, it was fun. I could see all the lovely fishes, and I was loving it. And I love water. I'm a good swimmer. I like swimming.
Shallow diving.
I surf. But then when that corner just broke away and it just went dark and I was nothing, and I was just like, no.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if you're going to dive, in my opinion, I prefer the sort of like 18 meters mark, because everything's still got its colour. And like you start going deeper, the only reason you're going to go deeper is to do like wreck diving, because the rest of it is just, it loses all its colour and goes a bit bland, really, and more risk.
Right, okay, got a question for you guys. Big question about Star Citizen, off thingy. It's to do with dust trails. So how's everyone's how do you all feel about all of the dust effects going up crazy, and all the smoke and just generally all the kind of effects that we're kind of getting at the moment? Are you finding it too much? Just the right amount? What's your feelings on this? Because it was a comment on Reddit. It's not my comment. It's just a comment I was on Reddit, and I was interested because I was thinking what other people thought. Are you happy with it? Do you think it's too much? Not enough? More? Less? What's your thoughts?
Too much.
Too much.
Too much space dust when you're flying. That's my opinion.
Do you want me to read out what he said? I'll read out what he said, and then he says, "Can we get rid of the space dust or dial it down considerably?" He says, "I hope it is at least an option to turn it off, because I think it's terrible." It's a bit strong words here. I wouldn't say terrible. And ruins the aesthetic. I know it is there to give some reference to movement, but I feel that the game would look so much better without it. This has been a post before, and I think it would be worth bringing up again. Well, he says about sliders. Fuck that. I mean, I'm just curious to know what you think. I think he's slightly. The question is it a bit too much, rather than all the other shit?
I think it can. I think it can be. Yeah, probably a bit too much. I mean, you do need it, to be honest, because you do need that sense that you're moving and stuff. And I think if you take away that dust, I think you lose that aspect that you're actually flying and moving forwards. And that's how, maybe not so much this, but I know like when I played Jump Geek, that was how you actually knew that you were doing anything, because otherwise it just, in space, nothing looks like it's moving. So you definitely need an element of that coming towards you to see that you're actually moving in a certain direction. But yeah, it doesn't need to be quite so much. It doesn't need to be tons. It's a bit like when you showed us the snow scene that you were going to do Madness, and I said, yeah, tone it down a bit.
Yeah, which is, we've actually ended up back in that scene a little bit at the moment. I do apologise, but this is because it's the old scene rather than the tone.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I think you had 2 layers of it, I think.
I do. I can bring it back if everyone wants to see it. Does anyone want to see the full snow effect? Carry on, talk.
No, well, I think that's pretty much it. I think you can't. I don't know if you'd even get it as a slider. I think because it's coded into on how they actually make the servers and the actual atmosphere. So I think you can't get rid of it with the slider. Probably not. But I think toning it down.
Yeah, I can't find it.
Probably the best way. I won't worry about it. The snow is fake. No, the snow's real. The snow's real.
It's all legit. I'm freezing right now. Even the sweat that's pouring off my brow right now is not an indication of actually how cold I really am. I am freezing. Really, really cold. Okay, so the next topic, because like I said, it's a good opportunity to go through and just see what people are talking about in the world of Star Citizen.
Sometimes it's actually interesting. Like we have it on Facebook. I mean, like the Star Citizen UK group, and I think it's like Ready Player One. But you do get some interesting conversations come up, and some things that people think of that you don't necessarily, because that's one of the problems you get when you're playing this game like a lot. You find that you either get used to certain things, so it doesn't you don't notice them, or you just kind of brush over it anyway. So when you get some newer players and they go, "Well, what's this like?" or "Why is it doing this?" It does open up some interesting conversations, I think.
It does. I mean, and like when you play as well, I try to make little notes as I'm playing, because when I'm playing, I kind of go, "Oh, why haven't they done this?" Like for me, I was like going, like when we load the ship in, and you've got, I think it's recall or something. What's it called? Retrieve, track, and claim. And I was like, well, why didn't they have a fourth one, which was stow? So when you leave your ship on a pad or something, you stow it. You can manually, say, for example, you accidentally spawned a ship. And then someone said to me, well, within a certain amount of time, it automatically, if you spawn another ship, it takes it away. It takes it away. But I was like, that's fine, but it would be cool if I could do it myself. For example, some of the ships that are maybe on pad, you want to keep the landing bay for yourself because you want to go back, but then they'll manually take it away from you. And I kind of like, it would be nice to have a bit more control myself to say, hey, it's fine, you go ahead and stow that ship. I don't want to spawn that ship now anyway. I've flown to my location in my Hornet. I'm going to spawn a caterpillar to go home or something. I don't need the Hornet anymore. Yeah. So I'd like to have a bit of that button added to it would be nice, but maybe that's something they're already going to do. I don't know, but it's one of those little things that I was like, just making notes, like on missions and stuff. Like, oh, why didn't they do this? And like maybe this, and just like little things that I think about, and then I test with chat, and if chat tells me I'm being stupid, which they usually do. I mean,
it makes sense, especially at the moment, because if you call a ship up and you either don't use it or you move it and then park it, and say you crash and come back, it's then bang straight into a file claim rather than it just still being there.
Yeah.
So I think stowing a ship, otherwise you've got to go out, get in it, take off, land again to register that it's been landed, and then let them take it away. So yeah, it'd be probably quite nice to have a little stow button. Do
you know what would be even cooler as well? I was thinking is to have like when you have in America you have this. This is the first time I ever had it, was just when I came to America. Was when you have a valet that takes your keys and parks it for you.
Yeah.
And so I was like, it would be kind of cool, like, say for example, we park our ships sometimes not on the landing pads, you park them further away. If you could actually tell somebody, like an NPC, to go, here's my keys to my ride, go and stow it.
Isn't that just added extra landing pads but elsewhere?
But just like a manual. So you see a poor little NPC get on like a little, he jumps on his little grey cat, drives over, then takes it like in Ferris Bueller for like a joyride.
You just have this like this big circle around Port Olisar where you just leave your ship, and then you just see this not a grey cat, but like a little Largo going back and forward, just like picking up ships to park them.
You got to pay for it. It'll be like quite an expensive privilege, but maybe like, for example, for some of the big ships and stuff, you could pay for someone to park your ship for you. That would be kind of...
It'd be kind of funny, actually.
It'd be kind of fun. Maybe you could do it for a job. Can you imagine you could be your job in the game? You could be a professional ship landing kind of valet boy or something. That'd be your job. You kind of get like a special suit and stuff in the game, and you just park people's ships accidentally. Like, just take. Like I said, you could do like Ferris Bueller style. Just take it for a really long spin.
That'll probably suit bad Bio, to be honest.
Yes,
yes. You can have that on the side job from his tour guide.
That would be quite funny. Okay, here's a question for you guys. Final verdict between the three of us and the chat. Which one's better at the moment, Freelancer or Cutlass?
Well, it's
Cutlass.
Competition is there. Yeah.
Cutlass.
And we've seen that. I mean, the Sal thing that they had on, they showed 0 update to the Freelancer, so it's easily a Cutlass at the moment.
Yeah. And if Santa had to choose one of those, which one would he use?
Without a doubt, Cutlass.
Santa would choose Cutlass. I think so.
Got more storage. It's got a better layout. It's got the better turret system.
That's it.
So it's just better all around, to be honest.
I get in this argument all the time in the stream. We have no idea what the Freelancer Max will be capable of, or whether or not it'll be able to carry a Cyclone.
Yeah, that's so annoying. Why they didn't show anything in? The only reason I can think that they didn't show anything in the holiday, not the holiday live stream, the Sal's pitch things that they did, is that they're doing a rework on it. That's the only thing I can think of, is that they're trying to rework it, and so they haven't announced it.
Well, they're going to have to. It's got to be huge. because we're all predicting a price increase on the Cutlass. Well,
I
now
hope
that
so.
it's better than the Freelancer Max, in my opinion.
Yeah,
They got to make that Freelancer Max worth something to counter that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of shit for $100, in my opinion.
I just really hope they go. I mean, the Cutlass is going up. We know that, but I just hope that they go back and redo to not redo the Freelancers would be a big mistake, because I loved the Freelancers. They were my favorite, and they were going to be my main ship that I was going to start with. And now it's just like, well, there's no point compared to a Cutlass. Even though I still prefer the look of the Freelancer, it feels like you're getting a lesser ship by using that one. Apart from the toilet, you get yourself a toilet.
Somebody just corrected me. There's 24 missiles on the Cutlass Black now. I mean, come on. How many missiles are on any Freelancer right now that you can max out at?
How many are on the Freelancer, actually?
On the Freelancer, you can put 2... okay, so you got 8 plus 8. You can do a total of 16 missiles. So you can do 8 size 1s. Or is that 16 size 1s on the wingtips?
8 missiles on the Freelancer.
Archie says 8.
Yeah, so that's a lot less than the Cutlass.
Yeah, see, I used to put the size 1s on the wingtips, on the size 1 pylons.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to get size 3 on my Gladius nose today. Not having it, but I managed to get 2 guns. I managed to get the Rover's guns turret to fit onto the nose of it somehow. It was sticking out. It was like it was like just. I was like, oh, so I've now got 4 guns on my Gladius. I was like, this is amazing. Okay, it's 2 size 1s on the nose, but I was thinking that's pretty badass. I was like, that's cool. Didn't expect that to work, but
See you, Lord Shigan.
It's weird, like how the getting the ships and the stuff. Like for me, the Cutlass with the guns and the missile loadouts, it's just a better balance than the Freelancer.
I honestly just hope we get a rework. I know it's been reworked, which is what's annoying.
Yeah, it's already on.
But then they've reworked it before they reworked the Cutlass and made it think, well, this is still better than the Cutlass. No, I mean, the Cutlass is still better than the Freelancer. So it doesn't need to be better, but it needs to be at least kind of equal. I don't feel like it is equal.
Okay, here's my question, because everyone says I don't feel like it's as good, but what would you do to the Cutlass to bring it or to make it better? What do you think would make the Freelancer worth an extra $10 over a Cutlass? What do you think would be the...
Well, I think it needs to have at least the same or slightly more cargo.
Because it's got more cargo already, isn't it?
I don't think it has now.
Yeah, it's 42 or 46 on a Cutlass, and I actually got the Freelancer one up. Hold on. It's 66 on a Freelancer.
But if you look at the back of the Freelancer, at least it doesn't look or feel like it's got more cargo. Maybe it has, but they haven't changed the Freelancer one, though, have they?
Change the cockpit view on the Freelancer. Do you know what I would like them to do on the Freelancer? This is if they were regarding the cockpit, they could just make it so that it's like a dimming thing that you could then release. You could press a button and the dimming would disappear to give you the full view of the cockpit if you chose to. So you could still keep that panoramic view, but it's almost more. It's more glass, like a kind of like a and then like I've been on aeroplanes just do it, and you press a button and it dims around to an area, and you could potentially just have that still have that panoramic view if you wanted to, and then you press a button and pull it away, and it gives you the full kind of glass view and stuff if you chose to. So
what I don't get is, so they're saying that they make these ships with a similar manufacturer, so it flows between them. Now I know we've obviously got the Starfarer and the Freelancer looks very similar, but then the Reliant is completely different. The Reliant has got one of the most open cockpits that you can use, view-wise. So, like, why is that? I don't know. Whereas all the others kind of try and tie it in a little bit, they seem to not really know the direction they're going with the Freelancer stuff anymore. I think.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Prospector again is MISC, and that's got a huge, open, very visible cockpit.
And the whole C's got the more Freelancer he knows, though, doesn't it? The whole C's got the same kind of panoramic kind of cockpit view.
We haven't got any holes to fly yet, though, have we? So,
no, but just looking at the front, it's got the same, looks like the similar sort of cockpit styling and stuff.
Just on to the point, if they're using alien technology in like the Reliant and the Prospector, or I don't know if they're using it in the Prospector, but to kind of get that aesthetic of a large open screen, why are they not doing that in the Freelancer? And if people say, it's because it's trucking, but actually, if you look at modern day trucks, they have as much visibility as possible because they need to maneuver these great big. They need to maneuver these big, heavy trucks. They've got mirrors everywhere so they can see around it. They're now doing these ones with massive screens so you can actually look around and look like right to the front of your truck so you can see where you're driving it to. So it doesn't really have the effect of a trucker at all.
Crazy Canuck says Laura Gutless is designed for in-system use. It's not true because they both have quantum and jump drives.
What was that, sorry?
Arctic Game says Freelancer Crazy Canuck said Laura, the Gutless is designed for in-system use, but that's not true because both the Cutlass and the Freelancer both have quantum and jump drives.
Yeah. The one advantage the Freelancer was meant to have was that still over the Cutlass, is that it can use like the smaller jump gates. I don't know, the Cutlass couldn't, could it? I think. I thought the Freelancer was meant to be the biggest small.
The Freelancer does have double the fuel capacity. So yes, it does have in that case a longer range. But I don't know what past June, man, the lore on those things.
Yeah, but I mean, I suppose that's it. I don't know how accurate those, because they keep changing those ship stats. They've actually been updated to be correct.
Go there again. Yeah, it's just not. It's just like we have to kind of use it to the best of our ability, but understand that it's still not 100%, and there'll be
It's the biggest small ship that can go through the small jump gate. I think that's the word I'm looking. I'm trying to think of the order. But basically the biggest ship that can go through the smallest jump gate.
Biggest little truck.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Cutlass didn't have a jump drive in lore, and the Lancer will be the biggest. Okay, I got you. We'll have a jump point.
But will that be the case with the Max and things like that? I mean, as far as they sold it, I think it was. But I'm looking forward to seeing not the redesign. Sorry, the non-basic ones. Yeah. To see what they come up with.
Yeah. I flew it. I like getting in the Freelancer. It's nice having the mixture of having two ships. I mean, I know the easiest answer to people is, get both at the end of the day. When the game goes, maybe you just have both. I'll have a couple of Freelancers, I'll have a couple of Cutlasses, depending on the situation. If I'm in local space, I'll maybe rock the Cutlass for extra protection, and maybe if I want to take things over a greater distance, I'll take the Freelancer, for cargo running. That would be the answer.
The Freelancer is very similar to, in terms of like the original advert that you saw for it, with the way that it just blew the shit out of Cutlasses and stuff. It's so far from that original advert, which is quite funny. And like the engines were meant to change so that when you land, and then it was like none of that happens anymore either. So it's kind of been reworked a lot.
Well, the Cutlass has been too. I mean, you watch that one where the scythe comes in on them, and then that female pilot does this whip around and a twist and ends up.
But exactly, and I think that's what made them. That's what made them remake the Cutlass, right? Because it wasn't performing like that advert kind of thing, and now I feel like the Freelancer kind of doesn't do that either.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's definitely interesting. I like the fact that there is a little bit of difference, and there's a bit of a pros and cons for both. But at the moment, in terms of just for 3.0, the Cutlass is by far and away one of the most outstanding ships to fly.
I think that will be one of the interesting things is the Jan tech in the Freelancer, because obviously with Item 2.0, depending on what they decide to stick in the Freelancer with Jan tech and how much that influences it, I think that will be interesting to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, then when 3.2 and the Cutlass Blue and Cutlass Red come out to play, we'll see how the Cutlass Blue is capable of.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to the Cutlass Blue.
I mean, for me personally, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think they should be completely different, or one should be better than the other, or do you think they should be kind of like equal ships but by different manufacturers? So it's almost like having the same ship but just a slightly different look to it.
I think the Cutlass Blue should be slower.
Why?
Hate me for that. Because it has what? One still have the cargo cells in, or the.
It's got the
jail
cells.
cells.
It's got the J cells in it, yeah, and it depends what it's made out of. I mean, the gel cells could be made out of a very light metal that's, really strong. Doesn't have to be a very heavy structure.
For me personally, I think
bigger shields maybe.
I think the different manufacturers should be making, well, not should be, but like if you're going to compete them up against each other, they should be similar, very similar in choice, but you're kind of then picking one over the other just because of the aesthetics of it, how you like the look of it rather than how it performs.
I'm kind of it's a bit of both, but then because then you get down to the realms of like with Land Rover, for example, you can have a Land Rover 4x4, you can have a Audi 4x4, you can have a Porsche 4x4, you could have a Nissan 4x4, you could have a 4x4. So they're all, some of them are better at the job than the other ones.
Yeah.
But they're all still 4x4s by their very kind of like the naming and kind of stuff. So, I think that there should be certain ships that are still a little bit better than other ones, but I'd like there to be more choice for the categories. So, you can find the ship that just seems to fit you as a person better. Do you know what I mean? Because that's the thing as well. It's like I could fly, for example, the Gladius better than Jester, but Jester might fly the Hornet better than I can ever fly the Hornet, just because.
Bold claims.
Do you know what? Yeah, bold claims. But do you know what I mean?
There's no shots fired here. He's just talking out his ass.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, or Miz could drive a Dragonfly better than I could ever drive a Dragonfly, but I could drive a Nox better than he could ever drive, just because of the. Maybe that I prefer the ship, just my own personal choice, and because I spend more time in it, I'm getting more used to it and practice with it and stuff. So there's that as well. There's so many kind of personal.
I mean, I'm definitely one that will pick a ship more for its looks than its capability. So like a lot of people go, "Oh, the Nox is a better motorbike," but I prefer the Drake Dragonfly just because of the look and the sound and stuff. So.
I've got the Freelancer and the Freelancer Max and the Freelancer Miss all waiting in buyback to come forward once they get their remakes.
Same. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they're going to get a rework. I'm thinking they're going to get a redesign, and I'm looking for. I really hope. I hope they do something decent with it.
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't want them to spend too much time reworking old ships all the time. I'd like there to be new ships. I mean, the more new ships, the better, in my opinion. But,
or an alien version of the Freelancer would make me happy.
Oh God, yeah. Could you imagine? Like, how cool would that be?
I prefer alien ships over everything. So if we can get me some more alien ships,
more alien cargo runners, because obviously got the Banu. So, who would you want to see?
Because the Banu ship, the Merchantman, got so massive, I would like to see a smaller one.
A mini Banu. A Freelancer of
Freelancer Banu.
If the Freelancer Banu fucking come out, I'd be all over that 100%.
Okay,
that's
cool.
what I would like to see.
That's cool.
Since they made the Merchantman that big, I think there's definitely a space for that.
I'm hoping the 300 series gets a decent rework. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. But no, I mean, what other ships? Okay, that's a good topical conversation. Like, so what other alien races currently do you think, like, ships they don't touch on, which would be quite an interesting kind of mix?
Well, we got a couple of Vandal. It's the
Vandal's combat base, so it's not. They're not going to do any
Banu. No, Banu Merchantman. The Jan. We haven't actually got a Jan.
The Tavaran as well. You got the Tavaran, so they're kind of the bird-like kind of. They've done the Prowler, so they've got like their drop ship. But it would be interesting to see. Yeah, if you did. Like, the way I look at it is like the alien races, they must have, versions of cargo running. If you're a Vandal, you must have a cargo running, freight hauling type of ship. You must do.
Yeah.
Is it the King ship? They must have something.
But I can understand that not getting access to Dutch because they're a warmongering race. Whereas, say, the Banu, we've got their trading ship. Why on earth wouldn't we have their cargo runner, or at least you know, and if they live on their ships, then that's why I think like a Banu Freelancer style one would be good, because you would probably have it to be kind of like a livable ship. But I mean, do you think we're going to see more alien type ships?
Oh yeah, definitely. They bring a
premium. Because it's a bit weird because I've said this before in terms of like I would actually prefer to play an alien rather than a human, just because I find obviously the humans just to be, that's what we are in every day, and who wants to be human? I like to play something a little bit different. So I definitely prefer having some more alien influence in there, which I know they said we're not going to get to play an alien, but I definitely think it'd be nice to be able to at least have their ships, or you know, if the UE have got a good relationship with them, if we can get the Banu Merchantman, if they trust us enough to have that ship, why not other versions of it?
I mean, that was one of the coolest things about when you see all the like Star Trek and Star Wars and all the rest of it, is when you meet the alien races and all the different variations of their ships and stuff that they have. Exactly. You know, they've got their warship, but then, you know, they also have their, you know, peace kind of, you know, the envoy ships and their scout ships and their, you know, they have all their different variations of ships as well. You know, they have their cargo running ships and their cargo hauling, you know, they have all that stuff. So yeah, no, 100%. I am a Banu Freelancer kind of styling mix, mid-range. Mid-range
or
ship.
Even a Zhaan one, because we haven't seen any Zhaan ships at all.
Probably, yeah. I think in Banu they probably wouldn't do it because they've got the Banu. It's like this is the one ship.
But they've increased that to massive. It's like capital size ship now. They need, and it's got shops in it and everything else. They don't need that. They need a Banu, just like a trading one that literally just takes some cargo. Like sure,
Banu Defender, Banu Merchantman. What other is that? It? That's all we've got, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. We've got the Defender.
We've got the Banu Defender, the Banu Merchantman. I mean, I'd love them to. I almost feel like get the Banu Merchantman sorted, get the styling that you really want.
But don't they sometimes do the smaller ships first?
Oh, that's when they cock. That's when they cock up, though. A little bit.
Is it?
A little bit.
Well, the Defender doesn't carry any cargo.
No. It's just it's a mixture of like.
It's supposed to be a light fighter now.
The Defender's a weird one. It's got like two beds in it.
2 beds in it. It's got 2 seats. It's got 2 cockpits.
2 seats, 2 beds. I don't know about the cargo. But
I do like it. You've got one, Miz, haven't you?
I got it on buyback. It's quite pricey, but I definitely think when it comes out, I will. Hopefully, it'll be good enough fighter that I can take it over like the Buccaneer or something.
I don't think they'll redo the cockpits too much on the Lancers, because that's the styling look that they've gone for, and I like the look of it in terms of the aesthetics. It feels very just right is the best way I would describe it. I can't really say anything other than it feels right, but I know the panoramic view pisses everyone off. So, like I said, just make it so, like the Carrack, for example, that's armor, comes down. You can then bring the armor back again if you want to have visibility, but the armor comes down and closes down if you want to protect the hull. Sorry, if you want to protect the cockpit, it comes down so you get that narrow slanting view to.
I don't get that
for
whole
protection.
It's acting to armor though, when they've got. I don't know.
No, I'm just saying if that's the aesthetic.
They've got it.
They
you
like
know
that.
What I mean? Like,
they like.
And they haven't got increased armor because of it.
I'm trying to give them. It's a creative thing, Miz. Only. I'm just saying, like aesthetically, if they just want the aesthetics, then maybe they could make a. Because also, when you think of something, I want it to be justified why they would do it.
They've literally done it to make it look different to any other cockpit. That's why they've done it. It's purely for visuals to make it look slightly different to any other ship.
Storefronts without any door, shopkeeper, sales room.
I don't really get what he means by that. I mean, if they got storefronts, then surely it's a shop. What else would it be? Without just because they didn't show doors and things.
I mean, I'm interested to see where they go with it. I mean, they're still obviously in concept, right? So where is it going to great? Still concept.
Well, they've already said it. It is going to be. They said it anyway, regardless of what the concept image looked like. They said it's going to be shops and bazaars within in Banu Merchantman anyway. So
yeah.
Whether it's clear run is a different thing. Whether it's just like you hire NPCs to sell shit, whether it can sell your own shit or what it'll sell, I don't know. But
we'll have to wait and see. I'm not going to theorycraft too much on that. It's like
it's going to be a floating mall.
Wait and see what happens. It'll be literally probably like the Grand Bazaar or whatever it is at Levski, probably just floating around in space, you know, but with aliens maybe rather than just humans and stuff, which would be kind of cool, and a bit more clean and shiny.
Again, it's another what? It's basically the thing is it's another. What's the thing? I'm trying to fucking.
Do you think you'll be able to? Sorry, do you think you'll be able to just I didn't want to theory crap. I'm going to briefly touch on it. Do you think that they'll do it so that you could maybe customize your goods, or maybe there'll be sections of the ship? So like one section might be medical, another section might be, you know, food produce, another one might be military, another one, you know, because it's going to be quite a big ship. Do you think so? It'll be broken down into lots of different mini shops next to each other, or maybe you could specialize your menu specifically to be one.
I'm thinking because of the way it works, you're going to have set spaces. So, say, for example, the bazaar was meant to be on the middle floor. You'll have 10 shops, for example, and they're not going to change size or anything else. But what may change, depending on the mechanics they implement, is whether you can either get a player to sell stuff in there, or whether it just becomes NPC shops. But I think you're not going to be able to say, oh, I want this one necessarily bigger or smaller. I think you're just going to be like set plots. In other games, they've had it where you can like hire an NPC to sell your own goods. That would, in my opinion, that would be the best way around it. So if you hired out your Banu merchant, say like shop A, and then you could sell that shop A to Madness, and he could come on your ship. He could then go up to his shopkeeper, which is like a hired NPC. He could then interact with it and drop his cargo or whatever it is you want to sell onto that shopkeeper. And then other people can go up to that shopkeeper, talk to it, interact, and buy the stuff you've put on there. That would be the best option, in my opinion.
What about you, Jester? Does it interest you at all?
I don't like floating gallerias.
Fair enough. Good answer. Good answer.
All I know is that a few torpedoes, it should go down.
It will go down, I'm sure. And everyone will be crying to the Spectrum when their Banus are being wrecked.
Dead. My fleshlights that Chive Hunter suggested are gone.
No, they're in space just floating around.
It's all gone wrong. Okay, well, as we're on the topic of conversation about ships, somebody mentioned something to me, and as I've said to many people, I've been involved in this. I know about the game from the beginning, but I've only really been into Star Citizen for about a year now, in terms of really deeply into it. So somebody mentioned on Reddit this ship. And it's called. Let me see if I can bring up the picture now. Hang on. Is this bullshit or is this legit? Because I wanted to test it with you guys. So
I'm guessing F8.
No.
Oh.
It's a civilian capital ship.
That's the Endeavor.
Is that the Endeavor?
Bullshit.
That's the Endeavor.
The Endeavor's not.
That's the front end of the Endeavor right there.
So this is the front, because they were mentioning they were saying, I wish someone would get back to me about buying the master set, he says. But honestly, can't wait to earn one in game for my org and explore different module combinations. So I'm guessing he's on about, is it the master set? So is he talking about the Endeavor? The Endeavor.
The master set for the Endeavor was like every possible attachment.
Combination.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's the Endeavor with the Super Collide Modular.
Yeah, it was like a $250, $300 package to add on.
Yeah. Because I've literally, the Endeavor is kind of my end ship, so I've kind of not really been paying too much attention to it. I was just like, I don't want to get too excited because then I'll buy it. But when I saw it, I was like, I will.
The only thing I liked about the Endeavor is the hangar module, because then you kind of have like a little carrier ship or whatever, like a player.
Yeah. Very much so. So it does look pretty badass. Hang on, I'm just going to bring it up again. That is a pretty cool picture of it. So this is a civilian capital ship. So which is quite which was, the guys were talking about having a capital ship, and I was thinking, well, that's kind of cool. This is the only one. Do you think we'll see more, like maybe smaller size capital ships for civilians?
Civilian, we got the Pioneer as well.
Is that civilian? I suppose it is civilian, isn't it? I guess, but it feels more like an industrial kind of capital ship than a civilian one. Because I mean, the 890 Jump's not a capital ship, like civilian style kind of yachty. I mean, this one is the Endeavor. I suppose there's no such thing maybe as a civilian capital ship in a way, if you think about it technically, because
But what do you mean by civilian?
I was going to say, it's a
somewhere
bit
where
like...
people live? Do you mean something like jobs that don't involve combat?
I don't know. That's the truth. That's the reality. I'm kind of like, I'm thinking about what is a civilian ship as we're on air now, thinking about it, going, well, a civilian... like would be the equivalent of like one person owning a ship. Do you know what I mean? Like a rich Saudi buys like an 3/8. What's that?
You got the Hull E, like Coffee says. You got the Orion. The Orion's one of the largest. And now,
we have the Carrack. There's now a capsized ship. Yes, that was the one I was thinking. Is like the Carrack feels like it's because you can. I mean, can you fly the Endeavour as one person without NPCs?
Wait, which one?
The Endeavour. Can you fly it as an individual kind of? I don't know. I don't know. I was just curious. I was trying to. I read it and it got me thinking. And you guys.
I think you're probably what you're on about more is you're questioning what a civilian ship class does. Because like you're thinking of it as more like a livable ship, aren't you? Really?
Yeah. I think so. I think I'm thinking what is. Like people say this is a civilian capital ship, and I'm like, well, there's no how does that kind of work? Because a civilian would be like just you and me can buy. A civilian is basically means it's like not military, isn't it? I guess so. Yeah, I mean it's fine. It's not a big question. It's just a
pigeonhole things in terms of like an industrial ship, which is different to a civilian ship. So
in Endeavour, there's minimum crew is 3, so.
So I mean, fair enough.
I mean, that's small crew for how big that ship is.
Fair enough then. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I did love. That's why I kind of when I watched the new Alien film, I forget it when they had like just the small number of cast. Oh no, it was the original Alien when it was like they had this huge ship, and how many was there in the original Alien film? It was like 7 or something like that. Sitting around a table, this enormous mining ship. Which is which I couldn't believe it, but I guess most things are automatic.
The thing is, if you go away from like the military ships, like the Hammerhead and things like which have got lots of turrets and shit, like a civilian ship, technically, it's limited in terms in terms of needing a huge crew. That makes sense having a smaller crew because there's less for them to do on a constant basis, like running the ship. Like when you're piloting it, you may want someone to do the shields or something and someone to do guns, but then the rest of it, I don't know. It's like less like when you got military, you need like necessarily all hands on deck, so you might need like a lot of people to go in each of the turrets and control lots of things because it's going less military and just like bobbing along as you kind of imagine it in space. You just got like tinkering jobs that you might need to do, so you might need an engineer and stuff like that, but a lot less people.
Well, it's Nighthawk saying that you can fly all the ships with one pilot, but you won't get the full potential, and that's true even now with the Cutlass. You got somebody working your top turret, man. You are wrecking shit.
Oh, really? The turrets are
good. My turret gunner mute man killed like 3 NPCs just while we were hovering.
Nice.
Well, that's good because we were discussing the other day about the Hammerhead going, well, at the moment, we don't know how good turrets are because, well, turrets have been shit for ages. So you're saying turrets are decent in 3.0?
They're decent in 3.0. At least shit tons better in 2.6.3.
Well, yeah, I mean, they were literally useless, pretty much. The only way to get a turret to work properly was to go backwards and never move. You know, that was the only way we could get turrets to work. Was literally you had to wait for the person that was a brilliant thing was if someone was really stupid, you know, you'd just be backing up and you'd be like, this guy is such a bad pilot. He's not even moving around. He's just flying into my guns. I'm deliberately trying to find an angle. So that's good to know. I'm really pleased because a lot of people out there have bought Hammerheads, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm
heavily turret focused.
Which is so heavily turret focused. So that's good to know. Good stuff.
I'm gonna say this again, man. I think the original role of the Hammerhead being, you know, anti-aircraft for like the Polaris, the Idris, and the Javelin.
Yeah.
Dude, just think of it. It can be multitask. You can assault ground targets with that thing.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah.
You know, if we got 5 guns just wailing down on the ground, well,
I think what Mandus is saying is it depends on how well the turrets perform.
Yeah.
it's got a lot of if the turrets perform well, if they fix the whole balance of how well turrets are controlled, then that's a beast of a fucking ship.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
If
you can get people to control the turrets well, fuck that.
And even if they don't, and the NPCs can control them good as well, that would be terrifying as well.
Well, I mean, I still believe that a reasonably decent NPC is going to do better than a PC turret gunner that's not very good. That hasn't done very much turret work. So the game automatic turrets a lot more than I would use manual turrets.
I'd be sticking my you'll be going around like kind of like checking. It'd be like you'll have all your mates all lined up in a row. You own the hammerhead. You've got your 6 friends, or you got your 6 mates there, and you'll know the ones that are good. And you'll be like, right, you're going on the back left. You're going on the back right. You're going on front left, front right.
Per turret.
The average people. Yeah, exactly. You're wanting to monitor the guys.
Yeah, I want statistics per turret to see who's getting the average shot on target and things like that.
People will do that. People will do that though. That's the crazy thing. Is like people would love to have that kind of information to kind of keep track of their turret performance. So you could potentially, if you're a really good turret person, that would give you a good job. For example, you could be hired. Maybe there'll be NPCs who are better turret NPCs than doing other things. They'll have a good track, be like, hey, I got 20 kills or whatever with my accuracy rating of this, blah blah blah, and you could it gives you a nice little. I'll hire him, please. He's really good. He's only really good on the front left turret though. Put him on the back left turret. He's
put
terrible.
Another one and he sucks.
He's terrible. Only the front right one. So go for it.
I was supposed to say it's like the fastest way to kill me right now in a dogfight is just strafe right. I can't do it. Can't keep up with it, man. Everybody suckers me into it, and that's where I just burn
and die. Yeah, no, I was the same. There's a few things that just some habits are just so hard to break. Little things you do, you just can't break out of them. That's why Zach always killed me. It was just I do stupid things all the time.
Like what? Tell us now.
No, it's too late now. It's 2.6, pointless. Everything's stupid now in 3.0 until I figure it out. So here's my next question. Here we go. Next topic of conversation is this little bad boy. I thought this was interesting. You guys, again, this is you're my soundboard. So Robert Space Industries, this person says 17 million. He says every player who pledged backs before 17 million receive a ship upgrade package containing an entire engine modifier. So firstly, did you guys who pledged before, did you get that? I'm sure you did. The next question though, which is interesting, is Star Citizen will feature an additional flyable ship class, the Battle Cruiser. Is that the Idris? Is that the Hammerhead? Is it yet to come? What do you guys think?
Well, they've not classed anything as Battle Cruiser yet, have they really? I think if it was the Hammerhead, they would have said, "This is your pledge. This is the Battle Cruiser that we're talking about." So I think not.
Well, yeah, aren't typically cruisers much bigger than?
Yeah, I'm thinking Battle Cruiser is going to be even bigger.
So it's not an Idris, not a Javelin.
No.
You wouldn't say. So
it's going to be like fucking Bengal size.
Bengal size Battle Cruiser. Ooh, who do you think will make it? Anvil.
That's a good point. What's his favourite? Probably.
Well, Aegis tends to make the big ships at the moment, don't they?
Aegis, I would have thought.
But I would like them to make it an Anvil battle cruiser, if I'm being honest. I think that would make a lot of sense for me.
I mean, I kind of hope, like you said, they make them sort of ships for at least the military ones. The different manufacturers will make their version of it.
I'll make it big for everyone to see. There you go, guys. There it is. Boom. Star Citizen. This was on the funding goals. Javelin is classed as destroyer, so it's bigger than that. So is the Bengal then, maybe?
Well, we're not going to get a Bengal, but maybe something that size.
Yeah, I always thought cruisers were bigger than destroyers, but then again, I was Army, not Navy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a complete noob. I have no idea, but it's interesting. It's very interesting.
Battle cruisers are agile as cruisers and have big caliber guns. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, Carrot, that's exactly what I was thinking. It'll be people who'll be like, "Why didn't you put me in the turrets? Why have I been always picked? Why am I always picked last?"
That will be my ship. Like, it will definitely be AI over player.
I don't want to be picked last.
Sorry,
Like,
mate.
AI.
According
AI.
to Wikipedia, a cruiser's
Okay.
bigger than a destroyer, but smaller than a battleship.
Oh. Ooh.
Okay.
Okay. So, I mean, honestly, we're well past 17 million. Is all I'm saying. I think we're good. For this. They've got the money for this shit.
A little bit.
And the comment was, "Where's my battle cruiser?" That was the comment. The guy said, "He's like, what's happened? You know, this was on the
where is it? Like, where's my Battle Merchant?
Where is it?
Everything else that I got.
Where is it? Where haven't I heard anything?"
Use the engine upgrade right now, so
yeah. So, but I mean, this is what I love. I'm learning all the time.
On the fucking referral page, it's nowhere. That's where it is.
It's there
because they can't even get They can't even get big capital ships in. You're not going to start seeing battle cruisers any time soon.
No, I like them to fix the referral page.
And that as well. Well, they were supposed to be getting the new website with 3.0 when it hits live. So it'll be interesting to see what comes up with that.
So just for chat and stuff, guys, if you want to throw us some questions, you can use the question thing. Otherwise, put brackets. I'll try and grab them. We'll go into question time. Hopefully, we'll have a few questions. Obviously, with the problems we had at the start of the show, I think has kind of obviously affected some of the numbers this evening. We don't normally have a bit more people, but when you have an hour and a half of fuck ups from my end, I do apologize.
Popular.
It kind of affects, obviously, people's trust.
Obviously, people don't want Christmas with Addicted.
They clearly don't. Clearly. Well, at least the ones that have staying here, we love you and thank you and cheers.
Hey, prisoner.
Hope you all have a wonderful Christmas. But, you know, we have a few more things to talk about. But if you can put in questions, we will go into question time. And we will go through questions and we'll talk about stuff.
If anyone wants to sell me their pledge from, like, Kickstarter level with a physical copy, please do.
Oh, hell yeah. That would be... Oh, they got a physical copy. Seriously.
Yeah, there's physical copies if you start very early backers.
Wow.
I know. And I wanted there was one with like the USB drive and everything else, but I didn't get there.
Curse those. Those jumpers are just so you.
I haven't got any jumper on. There's no jumper here.
I'm just so hot right now. Honestly, I'm melting.
I know.
I'm
in a t-shirt and I'm melting. It's like...
I'm just like, it's not...
This thing looks like I'm foaming at the mouth.
I wish I should have taken the shirt off underneath, to be honest.
That's why I got a t-shirt and not a jumper this year, because every year I wear a jumper and it's like so fucking hot.
Wait, one of you is an elf and the other one's a reindeer?
What? I'm not an elf. I'm not either. I'm Santa.
Oh, okay.
You did look a little bit elf-like, though, when you had like the shoes and stuff. Shall I bring up the You did post a picture. Can I bring up the picture, miss?
Yeah. With my socks.
Hang on.
And the dog in the background. I know.
Hang on. Let's see if I can bring it up. Here we go. This is Miss earlier. Holding the belly.
Jester's coping with drink. Don't worry about it.
I thought you had the socks on. Anyway. That's awesome.
I haven't got Christmas socks yet. I need to get some Christmas socks. That's what I need.
Classic.
I tell you what, the belly is filling out for Santa. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, tell me.
That's why you moved to vodka and skipped the beer.
Yeah, true.
I've given up with beer. Two was enough. I'm on to Tuaca now.
Right.
Bottle of that's not going to last.
I got another gallon still, so I'm alright.
Yeah, there you go. Signed. I don't know about signed. Deluxe silver collector's box spaceship ship USB drive.
Link a picture. I would love to see
of game soundtrack glossy fold up star map. You offering me that, Gavman? Cheers, man.
Wow, thanks. Gavman, respect, dude. Anyone in here who is an early Kickstarter backer? Like, so,
I saw it when those packages were available.
Because I've seen the cards, you know, like the people who get like the cool cards and stuff, which is pretty awesome.
That's concierge, which is
because I'm not too far away from concierge, guys. I didn't realize it. I am really close.
Really?
I might go only 110.
Does your missus know that you're nearly close though?
Gonna come through now and just fist will come through. Yeah, I didn't realize
how much he spent on the game.
She knows.
She doesn't, because you've already told us that you use a secret account for it.
It's all crickets.
She knows. Honestly, she knows how much I've spent.
Fuck, shoot it. That's it. Max Miss is muted. Muted. That's it. That's it. Those pictures you didn't want me to show are about to go on stream. So that's it. No, it's it's. I didn't realize the subscription gets added, and that's what's really tipped.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, I didn't realize the subscription's included. If you go to your account, you go to your. I think it's. I don't know where it is. It's one of the ones across. The first one across or second
Gifted
across.
stuff doesn't count, though.
Right down the bottom. Gifted stuff doesn't count. No.
Because that's all. That's what 90% of my stuff is.
No. $6 to get to concierge. Yeah. So yeah, I'm 110, I think, 100 and something odd pounds away from concierge.
Away.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, you got to do that then, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I do really. I kind of have to.
Chav Hunter says it's easier to be concierge if you're a streamer. That's not true. I was a concierge before I was streaming. It's easier to make the following levels as a streamer.
Well, if gifted stuff doesn't count, then it's not easier as a streamer, is it? You still got to buy it.
Yeah.
I've given away shit, of course.
Yeah, mine didn't count any of the ships that I'm well past concierge on the ships and stuff I've won. It's actually stuff I couldn't believe it. I've actually, over time, over a year, I've actually just a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there, and before you know it, it's like, wow, okay. This year, I subscribed more this year than I expected, than I normally would have, because I was kept thinking 3.0 was going to be around the corner. That's the truth. Honestly, I kept subscribing month after month after month after month.
Mm-hmm.
You have to maintain a large ship in your inventory, or a larger ship in your inventory to be concierge. So I didn't get into concierge because I had a bunch of fighters. I got into concierge because I had a Starfarer and 2 knock package that was with it.
I thought it was just purely down to if you spent $1,000.
No, that's where you just get the titles. You have to make that limit, but you typically have to have a larger ship in that package. Really? Yeah. Because I went into concierge and they all told me that.
I didn't know that.
Merc and subs counts as well. Yeah, they do. Everything counts as far as I'm aware in terms of merch. Everything you spend, card, cash, is counted and you've got it in your thing. So yeah, like flares, whatever you do, mine's mostly subs and ships really. It's just one of those things that's just done a little bit at a time and it just adds up really.
Packages you get gifted don't count.
Lifetime insurance. So Gavman, when you
yes,
says that package that you've got there, it says can be gifted. just saying. DM here.
Wow.
DM.
That is amazing. Amazing.
That is awesome.
I'm a long way from con. Yeah.
I'd love that package. Look at that. Fucking signed collector's box. USB shaped spaceship drive. That is an awesome package. 2012, man. Why didn't I back then?
Here was the crazy thing is I knew about it back then. That was the mad thing.
You just got a Saber Raven, Gavman. You don't need that package.
You got a Saber Raven?
Got a Saber Raven?
What?
He just won it off Detox, the bastard.
No?
Yeah.
Damn.
I would kill for his account right now.
Answer Banks' question, yes. Every gift you send counts for your titles.
But not for concierge.
I don't know for concierge.
Literally spend the cash.
I was concierge before I started streaming, so it's but I've hit Space Marshal streaming.
Space Marshal? What's Space Marshal? I don't know the
over 5.
5 is Space Marshal. Oh, I don't even know. Hang on. Maybe let's do a live check, shall we?
I don't care who it's signed by, Coffee Whore. I would actually just like the physical copy of the game after how much time and everything else I spent with it. It's like just.
I'm a bit more. Here you go. I'll bring it up. Here you go, guys. That's my amount total spent at the bottom there. Boom.
Sorry, this is my game package.
Thank God it's blurry.
There. $876.
Oh, you got the collector's edition as well. How have you managed that on a 2014 account?
And there's all my bills. Boom, 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 boom.
What's your largest package on there?
138, 132.
Yeah, as long as you spend the money, Saints, it counts towards concierge.
It's just that 100 or show all.
Just the 2. Yeah, it's just 2 at 100 and something. I think it's mostly upgrades and stuff.
Okay.
So, hang on.
No, Saints, for example, I've gotten a lot of ships. I've gifted a lot of ships that counted towards my title. I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if that counts towards your concierge. I can assume so. But I was told in concierge chat that you have to maintain or had to have had a larger package in there as well. I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't know if that's true, but I know you have to physically spend that money. It's the same way as the referral system works. So if you refer someone and they get a game package but they get it discounted, they don't. If they buy with a discount package, it doesn't count to your referral. They literally have to spend $40. And I think it's the same as long as concierge. As long as you've spent that money, as long as you spent $1,000, you count as concierge. Whether you give the stuff away is up to you, but you physically put that. I think it's like a reward to say you physically put that much into the game. Refresh and scroll down. Okay. I don't know if I want to refresh.
So you saw where it was, right? It showed you where it told you how much you spent because it's just because
Oh, Saber Raven, you bastard! And then
I cannot believe he's got that. Well, I can't complain too much. I did win an Aquila, so.
Well, see, like Saint says, he owns a Dragonfly, Cyclone, Prospector, and Carrick, so that's not the 1K limit. So yeah, his gifted stuff counted towards his concierge.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that might be then why I've gone up a bit then, because that would explain because I've given away.
Store credit, is
I've given up a bit. I've given away quite a bit of the.
I was all afraid during this last sale. I was like, well, if I melt everything down, I'm gonna be under like 1K. Will I lose my concierge status? I was all like, what the hell? I don't know.
I don't know. It's interesting. It's like, yeah, I'm guessing it must count the stuff I've bought, but.
Yes, he's equivalent to measuring penises. Yeah.
It is a little bit. It's not really.
Do
you know what? Do you know what? It's actually. It's more. I feel a little bit. I don't feel comfortable about it. You know, I didn't actually want to. A year ago, I thought it was crazy that people were spending copious amounts of money on the game, and then I kind of look back on it and I go,
I'm one of those.
I'm one of those. I have been.
It sneaks up on you. I mean, I've tried to stop because obviously there's shitloads of other stuff to buy, but
yeah, I'm the same. I'm the same. I've tried to stop as well, but the sale came along and the Carrick was looking at me, and I thought, well,
someone got us into D&D, and now they're showing me all these textbooks that I can buy. I know. Buying a player's handbook and on 3 different systems.
We'll do an advertisement again. So check out Miz, guys, on Friday if you like Dungeons and Dragons. Come check out our new show called Stout and Sturdy. It's really good fun. We're noobs at it, but it's a lot of fun, a lot of drinking, and a lot of laughs. So if you like Dungeons and Dragons, come and give us a follow. It's a good laugh. Right, let's go back to the topics of conversations at hand before we start questions.
What was we up to?
Soon. Clothing. Here we go. Here's a question for you guys. Because I have been watching the... I'll bring this up as we've got this online. Let's bring this up. So this is the clothing mechanics. So it's just going to cover all our phases for a little bit. But this is something showing how the kind of the cloth and stuff is kind of working in the game and stuff. So I've seen the kind of the tissue paper nomad cloth, and I'm not impressed with the dress. I don't mind the cape so much.
I think the cape seems to flow really well. The skirt bit has got a bit of work to it.
Yeah. It's not pretty. It's not pretty, the dress.
We saw, didn't we, when we was trying to stream, it kind of sticks out like Tinkerbell.
It's like puffs up like a kind of like you're a Victorian, it's like a Victorian dress or something. It's kind of like, gives you really big fat hips. It's not nice.
But the
soggy toilet paper.
Soggy toilet paper.
It's not nice. I asked Jay Lee if they were going to enable us to colour it, so we could change the colours of some of these things.
I'm hoping we will get some form of dye system eventually. I mean, this is obviously the very first cape/skirt thing that they've implemented. But what that video that you just showed does highlight, which is a bit interesting, is obviously we're used to kind of, or at least I am, MMOs where you walk on like obviously a normal planet surface and your stuff waves about a little bit, but otherwise it just flows nicely around your character. However, EVA does kind of really throw that in a different direction when you start having this loose clothing and you EVA different directions. The skirt just looks like a skirt that's a mess. Like you get quite a few arse shots. So you definitely got to wear pants when wearing that.
Yeah, it does.
It does. That's what I mean. It throws in an interesting concept in terms of EVAing because it can look a kind of mess.
Bunson's been on the org logo since you dropped it. I finally found it.
Fuck me, really, Bunsen? You've just been 2 hours at that looking at the logo screen.
Well done, though. Respect. Congratulations. That is superb.
Oh, wow.
I think everyone should do that. Everyone should go, not now, obviously, watch the show, but you should go back, and if you haven't seen it, check out the Reddit link. I'll try and link it again in a second, to do with the there's a big montage of all the different orgs. Try and find your org.
Lookalikes.
Send your org. But no,
we're not addicted. We're addicted podcasts.
Yes. We a lot of people get confused with that. It's like we are friends with the addicted org. We're friends with them, but we're not.
The thing is that addicted is kind of, there's a lot of them on the internet as well, so you probably will see. Yeah,
we're friendly with them, but we're slightly different at the moment. Me and Miz are going to be having a nice chat over Christmas period of time about these type of this addictive
Where's your hot
issue.
cocoa?
Should be fun.
Hot cocoa.
Feel free, guys. We might do is we might put it out to you guys. We may. I mean, I don't want to talk about Josh on the stream, but we've been talking about it for many months. We may change the name of the show.
What are you saying?
We may change the name of the show going forward next year to something else. We'll discuss it and stuff, but maybe we might ask you guys to come up with some cool names.
Alcoholics Anonymous, probably.
Yeah, I did think about calling it Rehab, which was one of the options.
Rehab when you're getting pissed, is it?
So we'll see what happens, but that's we'll see what happens.
I think you should change it to Eminem.
Eminem. Yeah, we did think.
Miserable Madness.
We did think about.
We did
actually think about Eminem. Yeah, we were thinking about Eminem. At one point, it was a consideration. It'd be quite fun. The problem is if anyone disappears, it becomes a problem. Then you get the Super Mac Brothers. Everyone says, "So where's the brother?" He's like, "Oh God," for like the 100th time or the 70th time.
Yeah, he does. Answer that question. He needs to sort out.
We are all my. I just say to him, just say you're all my brothers. I said to him, that's the soul. That's the solve. Just say everyone's my bros, and we're like brother. That's the best way to fix that one. So yes. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. So the clothing. Jaylee said to me that, which was quite interesting. He said the Nomad armor was originally designed to be just for NPC kind of stuff. Yeah, just for the Nomads. It wasn't designed for us to be able to wear the armor. But I think because
what difference does that make? Because you didn't expect it in space, I suppose.
They didn't. It was very much. I think it was just for NPCs and stuff. But obviously, the reaction, everyone loved it, really liked it, wants to be part of it.
Wants you say it's the Madness podcast?
It's not the Madness. Outstanding.
Rude.
Outstanding. I'll give you the money later. I'll give you my ships later. But the truth is, he said that they didn't, and also because of the fact that they changed a lot. We forget the Nomad was designed probably a really long time ago, before all the changes in the modular nature of how they would, like he was saying, the two with the modular nature of the designing of the suits and stuff, and the way that you kind of interlock things. He said it changed quite a lot of things, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why some of the bits and the way that they probably degrade the quality so that it can run in the game as well. You kind of lost a few things and stuff, so I'm sure it'll be up-spec'd again a little bit more as we go along. The cloth animations will improve. We're going to see more cloth, hopefully.
It's the. I mean, we've got that
materials improved.
Have you tried the trench coat thing?
Yeah, it's quite cool. I thought I was alright with
it. What's the animation like? I bought it, but I couldn't equip it.
Oh, the only issue I had with the animation was at the back. You could see your heels kicking through the coat. But I didn't do it I can't do it in EVA because obviously it's just a casual clothing, so you can't wear it floating around in space, which is a shame, really. It'd be kind of cool to have a trench coat in space, in your spacesuit, bit like in Fallout New Vegas, the kind of the cool trench coat thing. That would be kind of cool with the helmet and stuff. If you want to show them, what's he saying, Chav? You look in your Discord chat. Look at the pictures. Oh, okay, hang on. What's up? I shall look whilst Ms. talks about clothes. Is there any armor? What's the favorite? What's everyone's favorite armor?
Yes, because I'm a top clothes designer. I love clothes. They are my thing.
What's everyone's favorite What's everyone's favorite clothing?
Thing?
Armor.
Clothing.
3.0. That you've been able to wear.
I haven't had much chance to look, to be honest. So I think the cloaks. I like the cloak, how it kind of looks. Like you said, I think on planet side and with the gravity, it kind of looks okay. The thing is, any loose piece of cloth that you're going to have on EVA, it's going to look stupid. It's going to flow kind of oddly. But it doesn't necessarily mean not to have it. It's just one of those things that you kind of accept that goes with having the loose cloth, I suppose. Trench coat is the look that, for me personally, I like the most. But I haven't tried it yet because I bought the trench coat, but it didn't seem to let me equip it for some reason.
Mine's the Venture because of its functionality. It was an hour and a half of O2 time, and I think they dropped it to about an hour and 10 minutes.
The which one, sorry?
The Venture, which is the all-white RSI one.
Oh, okay. So it has more oxygen in it.
Other than that, if I keep talking about outfits, my wife's going to say, you girls.
I know. That's the problem.
Video game, yeah.
The thing is, every MMO I've played, like the look, I've spent longer on creating my character and then getting the outfit for them than anything else. Like, forget the adventuring. No, I need to go to the shop. But in real life, I hate it. I don't know about you. Like in game, yes, make your character look cool. But in real life, I can't stand going to a clothes shop and like picking clothes and shit.
I go right to the aisle in real life, grab the jeans, and get out.
Exactly. I find my size, get something, grab it off the shelf, buy it, and then done.
Video games were running like, oh, that looks nice.
Yeah. Oh, look at them shoulder pads with them elbow pads. That's so cool. Hang on. What if I change the trousers slightly? Oh, hang on a minute. What? And then you get to. Oh, what if I dye it and then change the dye, change the tint on the dye? Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, I've spent fucking. Well, even when we played, what was it? For D&D, like the divinity thing. There's like so limited on the character creation. Yet I still managed to spend an hour going. Well, what if he has? Yeah. What if he looks slightly different?
Do you know what, Miz? That was what when I was at Bar Citizen on Sunday in London. By the way, if anyone's British, lives in London, come along to the Bar Citizen. You get to meet my crazy self. When we do it, come along and say hi. The crazy thing what they said to me was that they said the first thing I said to somebody when they said that I was doing D&D, they said, how long did it take you to make your character? I was like, well, the first session we did was 6 hours.
Yeah.
We had only just got the character.
The whole stream, wasn't it? Was character creation,
and we did it all wrong pretty much as well. So we had to redo it again anyway. Add another couple hours to the session. But I mean, I wouldn't. It was great fun. It was great fun, and I love my character. He's now a cockerel. Thank you, Miz, for that. Miz was basically saying the biggest cock in the room is madness. I've turned him into a cockerel.
Cock.
And then I said to my missus, when you said to me on my stream today, he's like, Miz, you were like madness, you love yourself. And I was like, oh, I don't love myself. And then I said to my missus, I said, Miz thinks I love myself. And she's like, you do. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Was that a revelation for you or something?
You
got up and was like,
I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, you're the most selfish person I've ever met. I was like, what are you talking? I was like, yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, maybe I do love myself. So Miz just absolutely nailed it. I love myself. Clearly, I do. Anyway, if no one else does, nice. I've got to love myself. And my mum loves me, so that's fine. There's 2 people in the world. That's fine. And all of your mums love me as well. Woo.
So did Chav post the pictures from Saturday?
He posted pictures of. He didn't post pictures of Saturday. He posted me pictures of his wall. He's got a really great book collection. Me and him we were discussing because we met on Saturday, like on Sunday. So we were talking about. I mean, I don't want to bore you guys, but we were talking about Darth Revan. I'm a big Star Wars fan, so one of my I collect figurines and stuff, and I have Darth Revan. Well, actually, you are as well, Jester, aren't you? You're a big Star Wars figure collector.
Yeah,
I've
got Star Wars all around my desk right now.
Yeah, so I have a Darth Revan and Darth Malak and from Knights of the Old Republic figures and stuff, and he has the book, the storybook, and so yeah. I mean, I bring up the old Stormtrooper now and again, the old Death Trooper, should I say? Sorry, boom, from the old Death. But I don't like to tend to take my toys. I'm one of those. I'm that guy from The Simpsons. mint. It all has to be mint in the box.
No, I hate. Mate, so the David who did the D&D at the weekend,
but still a Sean right there.
He's got boxes of everything, and to me, it's like, no, get it out, display it. This is about as Star Wars as I get. Where's it gone?
Everybody, send me pictures. Link your pictures of your desk.
This is Star Wars as I get. Which is,
we'll bring them up on stream.
A cool figure.
Make sure there's nothing illegal that's going to get me banned, but feel free to Discord me, IMG, whatever pictures. Links are open of your desks and your cool nerdy stuff.
Leave it in the box. You have to have the figure out.
What have you got, miss?
This is Darth. I think from Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Online. This is the online one, isn't it?
Online one, yeah.
Online Republic one.
But that's the only Star Wars thing I have, but it's awesome. It is an awesome figure.
I got him upstairs, but he's a 3 3/4 inch one.
Everything in a box, Matt. Exactly, everything is in a box.
No,
yeah, I'm a mix. Whip
it out, man. Whip it out.
For certain.
Don't listen to him.
Whip it out.
Whip it out. Whip it out, man. Let's go and do it. Touch it. Touch the model. Feel it.
No, keep them in the boxes.
I keep the boxes as well, though. So like the one that's here, the box is down there. I've got all the little bits and bobs and everything. It's all perfectly ready to go back in the box. So I keep the box for certain things. Some things I don't bother with, like Hot Wheels, for example. I don't give a shit, to be honest.
I don't think that really counts.
So I've got my Yoda. I got my Yoda Hot Wheel car. Woo! This is really cool. But I kept that one out the box. I was like, I don't think Hot Wheels is going to be a real big money earner for the future. For me.
I don't think.
And
Don't have it as a fucking money earner. Just enjoy it, man. Get it out of this box. Give it a stroke. No,
BB-8
in this box.
BB-8. Sick little BB-8.
You gotta keep them in the box, man. Just keep them.
No. It's not a model if it's in the box. You might as well just get a picture.
Type all the spoilers in Discord. Don't you? Oh, dude, don't worry, Major. I'm going to see the new Star Wars film, guys, in a couple of days as well. I will be watching it. I'm very excited. So excited. Star Wars. I am literally so excited. I hope it's good.
I'm not a huge Star Wars fan.
Oh, God, yeah. Get it on. Jester, get it on. Let's do full Christmas mode.
How come that's not in its box?
You can't get it on his head. There it is. Look at that. That's
nice.
Insane.
Dude, that is some earphones in it.
Dude, did you make that or is that actually a bot? Can you hear me? You can't hear me. No, headphones. There's a design flaw right there. Clearly a design flaw. Nice. That's what I was thinking. That is a nice helmet, dude. Jester, that's a cool helmet, dude.
I know. The only things that come out of the boxes are the things I can wear. Okay.
Yeah. Nice.
Get out of the boxes.
Yeah.
Do it.
I got 2 lightsabers.
See, yeah.
So why do you keep it in the box?
Well, I'll let Jester
because I'm not playing dolls with my little kid.
Yeah, but like, what's the plan? Is it because you want to sell it in the future, or is it just?
No, typically what happens is I end up giving away most of it every year anyways. Unless I come across a collector, then I'll keep it. But yeah, I typically give away most of them every year to like Toys for Tots for my local toy drive.
So they're going to get opened anyway?
They're going to get opened and some kids are going to enjoy it.
Oh, right, so you just physically don't open it because you don't want to feel like you're playing toys with...
No, I don't. My daughter ends up picking a couple out occasionally, and she's like, I want this one, Daddy. Okay, good. You play with that instead of your Barbies.
I want to put a teacup in his hand.
So, it's true, though. Someone did say, like, you are literally, Jester, you are rebel scum.
Rebel scum.
Rebel scum.
Who called me rebel scum?
You rebel scum. Major. I love it. You got
the dark side.
Only now at the end do you understand the true power.
I can even wield the
thing
power.
Is, we're British, so we can do the dark side really well. that's the reality. That's the best thing about being British, because we get to do the dark. We get to do the baddies.
We are always the baddies. That is
always true. The baddies are the British.
Why do you think I'm DMing your Dungeons game?
Yeah. Right, hang on. We get back to Star Citizen. I'm getting excited about Star Wars. We're going to change the name. It's just change the name completely. M&M show. We can talk about whatever we want and go into the chat show channel. I think that's the future.
Thanks for the follow. Derek Smart was right. We really appreciate it. He was right. Star Citizen is fucking awesome.
I mean, someone's done a YouTube link. Have you seen the YouTube video? Someone's done like a kind of a double bluff. I think they said Derek Smart was right, but you go in there like as if you're like going to hammer him, and then you watch it. It's actually quite funny. It's actually
Chav Hunter shared that in my Discord. That was fucking hilarious.
It's not what you think. It's actually really good. So what have we got left, guys, to discuss? Let's go into questions. I think I don't think there's anything else. We've managed to somehow make what is a zero.
Question.
One question. Oh, by the way, ask us questions in brackets, guys. Please put some brackets in chat. Whatever. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about, as long as it's fun.
Do you want to go on questions? Should we do it?
Yeah, let's just go questions. We're going to go to questions, guys. So
we're drunk enough. I'm drunk.
We'll just go questions. I've been drinking. We're all fucking shit faced. Let's just do it. Let's have a laugh.
So we've got a total of one question. So this should last at least an hour.
Okay.
Major Payne says, is it possible to get physical copies of Star Citizen on floppy 3.5 discs, 1.44 megabyte? If yes, will they send us 30,000 discs?
Do you know what?
Do you know what?
I will, for you, when I see the artwork that they decide to do, did we get a link for the artwork, for what they've put on the physical copies?
I don't know, but on that topic, has anyone bought, or is anyone a subscriber on getting like the physical jump points?
Oh, good point, actually. Do you have a link for that? Because you talked to me about that today, Miz. You said that
I've not been a subscriber. I've never really much. I've seen on Facebook they talked about it a little bit. And then I saw that it's going on sale like on the 13th for the physical copy, which sounds cool. I haven't had it before.
Yeah, question. Right, Square Pegs asked us a question. It's an important one. Okay, so feel free, put questions, whatever. I mean, just spam us.
Has anyone got the physical jump wins, and what are they like? How much do they cost? How much do they cost? Is it worth subscribing so I can buy one?
Hang on. I am a subscriber, but I think, what's going to be funny? I think my subscriptions run out today.
Does anybody want to give me a physical copy of Star Citizen?
Not really. Well, I don't know. Gavman might.
Gavman is giving me his account.
He's giving you his full account.
He's already agreed that, just so he can stay on the D&D campaign.
Yeah, you're threatening the D&D all over him. Poor Gavman. To be fair though, I've seen Gav's javelin throwing. It's not good. It's bad.
It's not good.
His dice throwing on javelin is
He's
poor.
not going to live long in this campaign.
He's very good against fire though. Just put him in front of fire and he survives because it's
that was so funny.
Right, hang on a minute. So
you're keeping them in. You've not opened them to.
I need the link.
Wow, what is it? You need to open
these
things. How can you have? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I order something on the internet, I've said to Des and a few other people before, when the postman hands it over, I'm literally opening it as the postman hands it over. It's like, what is it? I have to open shit straight away. So I can't imagine like having these books and not opening them and keeping them in mint condition. It just wouldn't last.
Buy one, get one for. Right, okay, I'm going to go. Let me go and see. Let's go and have a look. Robert Space Industries. See if I've got access to one of these books that you're talking about. Where would I find it, Miz? Because you're a subscriber.
I don't know. I'm not a subscriber, which is why I don't have access. I don't know where you would find it. It was in an email
store
saying they were going to. It's not until the 13th, so it won't be on there anyway.
Merchandise?
I didn't see anything saying it was going to come any sooner.
I think it was the 13th.
Oh, I still have access as a subscriber, so it's not in merchandise. Which is the most depressing place to ever go in Star Citizen.
Didn't they say
it's the most depressing?
Didn't they say they would do another great starship with the Titan armor? Did they?
Do you know what? Here's a crazy thing. They charge $42 for posters of a Dragonfly poster set.
Jesus Christ! It was $25 for the mouse mat, which is steep but not too bad. But then when you have to go for postage, it's another $25 on top. It's like fuck.
I'll just print it out. You could print it out at a local digital.
$28 and was cheaper than that during the sale for the.
That's stupid VAT as well, which doesn't help.
Yeah.
Dragonfly poster set, and then they say the Dragonfly poster set for subscribers is $33, but for you, who's not a subscriber, it's $42. I have to pay digital tax or whatever, but I don't know why I'm paying digital tax. I just buy that. You could just get a better poster. Honestly, I swear to God, I could do you poster and you could print it out at local printers for about 10 quid.
In the previous jump books, 1 and 2 approximately. No,
okay,
they weren't 300 quid from.
Getting questions.
They weren't 300 quid from Star Citizen, surely.
Hang on, I'm just going to grab them all. So Warwag, I'm just going to grab
them.
Yeah,
email. No way.
Sorry, get your names. We're putting them in. I'm putting the questions in the podcast general thingy, Miss.
Let's have a look.
If I'm, hopefully, I don't miss any of them. Otherwise, if you want to, obviously, you can use the link. But otherwise, just put questions in. We'll grab them because it's not a huge number of people in here at the moment, so we can probably go through them. So, first question is from Square Peg. He says, "Or did we answer the other one? What was the other one? Sorry. Just would I give him the hard copy of the Star Citizen on a floppy disk?"
Yeah.
Absolutely. More than happy to. Good luck trying to put it into your computer, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love there to be... Does anyone know if anyone has actually taken an old-school floppy disk drive and made it USB compatible?
I don't know what's happened to that.
Pointless. A bit like an old zip drive off of my Apple Mac, making it USB compatible. But it would be...
I can't find the email I had, but it was definitely an email about the Jump Point magazine. But it isn't... Okay. Yeah, Fleabag, exactly. I don't know how much they sell it for originally. But on the 13th, I think it was the 13th, I seem to have lost the email.
Sorry,
that they will be selling the physical copy again.
Sorry.
I don't know how much it was sold for originally.
I'm going to have a look and see if I've got anything from Star Citizen.
I've been melting and rebuying shit, like 9 of them a day. Finding a Star Citizen email is kind of hard.
Ooh,
exactly, I've got fucking shitloads.
I've got a slight rant. I'm sorry, I'm going to make this. This is my slight grumble, okay? So, don't want to be too salty, but it's my slight problem, okay? So, I bought the War Bond Edition Mustang Alpha package when it was on sale. I bought one because I wanted to upgrade my current package, which was a Mustang Alpha and Star Citizen combo pack. I bought it. I didn't. Jester knows this because I was talking to Jester about this very issue. Okay, so I bought it, and then you said to me, Jester, rightly so, that I should see when I go into my inbox, I should see an option to buy the Squadron 42 to add on to it, and it would be $15. Okay, I should have seen that. I didn't see it, and the reason I didn't see it and I wasn't able to see it was because I already owned Squadron 42 on a package. I was told from the help desk that I had to melt my package, including Squadron 42, in order for me to be able to see that deal. Now, I had actually gone through, bought the package, didn't realize this. You know, there's no information to tell you this fact. So I wrote an email to CIG asking, can they sort this problem? 3 days go by. Not a peep. Just an automatic response saying, thank you for the inquiry, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I see a streamer called, I think her name was Vampire Z or whatever. Anyway, she's streaming. She's new. I want to get more girl streamers into Star Citizen. I think it's important. I have this package. I'm not going to do anything with it. It's pointless. I give it to her. I gift it to her. No problem. Quite happy to do it. I then send CIG a message because I don't want them to then try and fix the problem and obviously then go, hang on a minute, you don't have it anymore. You're trying to con us. So I send them a message to say, I have no problems about this issue anymore. I've given the package away. I get within fucking literally about 20 minutes a response from CIG saying, thank you for informing us, with the guy's name, responding very kindly saying, thank you for this. Really appreciate you letting us know. Da, 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 da. Brilliant. I was like, hang on a minute. I've solved my problem by giving the package away, and you can respond to me in fucking minutes, but you cannot respond to me in days when I wanted it to be sorted out in the first place. So I was fuming initially.
This new build, greenlit.
Absolutely fuming with them. Like, fucking awful. Anyway, that was a little bit of a...
Look,
but
what are you whinging about?
Doesn't matter. We move on.
Real quick, too, by the way. If you end up getting that on sale package with the $15 or Squadron 42 package, and you decide to melt that $15 package, you can kiss it goodbye because you can never get it back.
Okay, good to know.
I've got this in with a referral ship. I can't if I can't, it actually doesn't physically let me melt it anymore. So I can CC you up, but I can't. I literally cannot melt it anymore.
Yeah, 0 value.
No, it was 0 value. Now it doesn't actually allow me to melt it. They've literally taken it away. You can't even melt it. Probably because it's worth 0 value, so it's to stop you doing something stupid. I'll put the link. Oh, there you go. Put the link at Jump Point Free.
There it is.
So, SquarePeg is saying that he thinks it was $70, which, fuck me, that's expensive.
Wow.
He's not confirming it, but he's saying he thinks that's what it was.
I partly. Here's my thought on this: is I often think two things.
Okay, sorry. I just seen. Sorry, Stephen the Geek said it was $80 for Jump Point or $40 if you had more than a year subscription.
Okay.
That's expensive.
So here's my that answers a little bit of what I was going to say, but in my experience in terms of kind of like from design and stuff, from what I understand is if something is being charged at an extortionate amount of money, which you think is just ridiculous, for like book, because it's a book, for fuck's sake, you buy books for 12 quid down the road, you know what I mean, like in the second-hand shop, where you can spend $20 is I mean, realistically, for this type of a book, $20, £25 is what you'd expect to pay. Not, what was it you were saying, £70?
80.
Yeah, it's twice the price, if not 3 times the price. The markup value is staggering. Now, either they're being ripped off by their publisher, so that whoever's ripping them off, and so they're having to, you know, cover potentially they've done some bad deals, whatever, or that's it. That's all I can think of.
What do you pay in England for a poster to put on your wall?
£5.
Yeah, so we pay like $2.99.
Depends on the quality.
We're always getting ripped off.
We pay a bit more, yeah. But to pay 3 times of what would be a normal for.
I mean, what's worse for us in the UK is when they do the US conversion. Like when we get, so say like the iPhone, for example, it would be like say $600 for you, but they would literally just do 1 for 1 and say £600 for us.
Yeah.
Which is the biggest rip off.
It's because they can't be bothered to do the math, so they're just like, fuck it, just
screw us over.
Just change the value sign. We'll change the value sign on the left.
Front. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I didn't know that, Miserable. I just checked my Gladius. Yeah, I can't melt it. There's no melt option anymore.
Yeah, you got the same. So I upgraded mine to a Buccaneer, and now I can't get that back. I can't go back to the Gladius. I can't melt it. I can't do anything.
This is the referral package.
I can upgrade it, which is what I've got to be careful of now, because any upgrade I do, I can't then go back a step.
Oh yeah, this is the referral ships. When you have a referral ship, you can't. Once you upgrade it, you can't go backwards. Yeah.
No, but they used to give us the melt option on it, so you'd get your upgrade money back, but.
They're clever. They're very clever. But the thing is they do it so bloody slyly and just off to the, you know, like you're not aware of it. It does. Ooh, do you know what? I just kind of go. And then I get my picket, then I go British. I go British other than American, and I go just get like a picket sign. Maybe write a really strongly worded letter. Really unimpressed with you, CIG. Here's my wallet. I've just bought £1,000. I'm just now concierge. Can I please get my other shit? Blah blah blah. You know, very, very British. Oh, that's cool though, Biz. That's I wouldn't spend 70.
I would love it. I would love. I mean, the physical stuff, like, because I'm not too worried about physical stuff in most games and things that I play. But when I invest like this much time and effort in a game. So, like, there's one thing, Total War, Warhammer Total War, they did, like, a collector's edition with the dwarf stuff, and because I've been, like, quite heavily dwarfed and stuff, I feel like I missed out buying their collector's edition, whereas, I mean, the Star Wars one, I bought that one, I got this, like, Darth Malgus figure, but at the same time, I felt like it wasn't worth the value that I paid for it, and the game didn't last as long, whereas this one, I spent quite a lot of time of my life in Star Citizen, and so sometimes these physical things seem I don't know, it's nice to have them.
Well, all the physical items from Star Wars: The Old Republic that I currently have are worth 2 to 3 times more than I paid for them.
Really? Because I didn't think the Darth Malgus thing was worth that much. I haven't checked the books and stuff because I have got the physical. I've got a whole collector's edition pack.
You know when you're becoming a collector of toys is when you don't know what toys you've got. That's when you know. That's the reality.
That's what I'm like with Warhammer.
I don't know.
I've got so many.
Know. Yeah, I don't know. I've got a warehouse, like literally just. There's a few toys that I really like that hold like genuine value, not just because they're value on Amazon, but the ones that I really like that I've bought. That I could name a few of them, but other ones like I've got a Grimlock, the really rare Grimlock, and then I've got I got the Revan and the Malak. But I got the Revan's my favorite little Star Wars figure, and then I've got a really cool diecast Transformer, and then I've got got loads of Lego Ultimate Collectors Lego editions. I need to buy the Millennium Falcon. Actually,
crazy for selling on.
I need to buy the Millennium Falcon. It's £650.
My friend's got that David that you saw from D&D.
I need to buy it.
He sold loads of his really old Lego so he can make some money and buy it.
I've got the Slave One, the B Wing, the Thingy Wing. I've got Darth Vader's X. I've got too many of them. But
his house is full of Lego.
So close to buying the Star Wars Lego one, but Millennium. But then I want the speeder. I want the snow speeder as well, and I'd like to get. I like them all. I like the Death Star, and anyway, whatever. That's Lego's a totally different topic. But there is some. You get into.
I need more alcohol between the Star Citizen and Star Wars. Wars talk.
Yeah, I just kind of get.
Okay.
You're a collector. You're a collector when you don't know how much shit you've got in the back. Basically, I don't like Lego toys. Fair enough, Joe.
I'm a collector of Warhammer stuff. I mean, I am a collector, I suppose, even if I don't want to think I am.
You are.
But mostly of Warhammer stuff, I think. I'm a collector of anything. Just like I want that. Like we've been doing this D&D, and all of a sudden I'm looking for all the reference manuals. I'm thinking, yes, I want all the books. I want all the models. So I'll paint all your classes. Like we're not even doing tabletop D&D, but I feel like I want to get it and paint your models and have them just sitting there going, oh yeah, we're going to do some D&D. So yeah, I'm totally a collector, but I don't buy a lot of collector stuff, but I love having the stuff like that. And that's why I'm gutted a little bit from back in, because I saw Star Citizen when the physical packages were available, but I didn't back until they changed it over to, they got rid of the physical ones and changed it over to the digital stuff. So it was a little bit gutted that I haven't got that, considering how much. This is probably one of the games that I've had the most investment in over all games.
I got a really big question was asked at me. Do I think that Kylie Ren is better than Revan? Fucking hell, no. But I do like him a lot. He's British. He's British and he's a baddie, so he's good. I do like. Yeah, he's. I'm a fan. He's a little bit of a brat, but no one's better than Revan. He's got a purple lightsaber and a red lightsaber, or a green one, and he's got a cool mask. Oh, don't start me on Revan. The question is to us from Mr. Squarepeg. He says, but if you are from space, why do you sound like you are British?
Because every villain sounds British.
Yes, exactly. And because the English language was British and it's conquered. I mean, the reality is, I suppose, the two languages that will probably be left will be Chinese and British, just like the brown coats.
I'm British.
And those will be the two languages left, really. American will fade away and die, like it should do. British will return to its true dominance.
Really quiet.
British will return to its true dominance.
What have you done?
True dominance.
Empire, is that what you're saying?
Empire will return.
The Empire will return. We mean the British Empire.
The British is best, baby. No, we'll see. It's the English language is actually super flexible. That's the beauty of the English language. It takes things, adapts things, and melts and adds things. There are a lot of religions, a lot of languages that can't do that. Whereas the English language, the way that it flexes and moves and bends is and just takes things on board and just adds to it.
Little Britain.
It's fantastic. So that's why it will just be around. It will be English or whatever that is, and
did we pull the American in the chat? He's gone.
Yeah, I think he's gone. He's gone. He's shit faced somewhere. He's all that's powder, all that white powder. He's just like, it's gone. The next question is from Warwag. He says, "Didn't they say they would do another Warwag?" Warwag. That's the guy. Look, I don't make the names up here. Warwag He says,
where are you getting them from?
Didn't
Not
they
those
say? No, you feel free to read out questions from the.
Okay.
If it's any, I've got the question
Okay,
from
go,
Warwag.
go, go, go.
Didn't they say they would do another next great starship, but with Titan?
I don't know what he means by
armor?
that. I don't know what he means by that. Do you?
I don't. Warwag. That's an interesting one. Like they are going to do the next. You mean the next great starship, as in like we will design the Titan armor? Because remember the next great starship was the competition. Okay. So I've never heard anything of this, Warwag. But if you have a link, Warwag, if you're still in chat, if you have a link for where you've seen this, please post it in so we can have a look at it, because that sounds really cool. And I think a lot of people who do 3D design should get in on that, because I would love to see. I'd love to see people design I think designing smaller things rather than spaceships is far better for the community to do.
So what was it called? Is it the Reclaimer?
The Reclaimer. Oh, and it was it was not the Reclaimer, it was the Redeemer.
Redeemer, sorry, that was the one. So the Redeemer was made by the fans, but then they even employed the people that made it, but now I think they've kind of regretted it because it doesn't fit.
Sorry, wait a second. Looks like there's a new update to Star Citizen, by the way, guys. So jump in.
Yeah, that was about 20 minutes ago, Madness.
It's just come up for me. It's just come up for me.
People in chat said it about 20 minutes ago. It was.
It just went bring for me.
Wake the fuck up.
Sorry.
Yeah, so they did the Redeemer, and basically I think they have to redo it because it doesn't really fulfill what they want. So I'll be surprised if they open it up, the Titan armor, for people to design.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't mean they won't, but I'm surprised.
Wait and see. For anyone that's coming in, if you want to ask questions, like I say, brackets, doesn't matter what it is. It can be, about Star Wars, Star Trek, Star Citizen, whatever. It's fine. Go ahead.
I had to grab the ones from the kitchen, Madness. This is for you.
Oh, which one you got?
What's that?
Hang on.
Them shiny boxes.
Oh, dude, I've got the white one. I've got the white one on the right, but the small version of him, not the first edition one with the silver coin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that one. I've got all of the whole set.
Nerds.
I got the whole set of the Ralph McQuinn collection.
Hang on a minute, man. If I remember, didn't your missus make you put all your stuff in storage?
Yes.
That was you, wasn't it?
Yes, that's what I was saying. I have a storage. I have storage.
You can have your collection, but you've got to stick it all in storage, which basically means fucking get rid of it.
You know what's funny, man? When our daughter was still in the womb, getting ready to be born into this world, we were hooking up the nursery, and I put all the toys on shelves all the way around the bedroom. My wife's like, "Yeah, no, you better put that shit in boxes." Yeah. I just want her to know. What's going on in life.
Yeah, exactly.
The funny thing is, my friend David, who came down that weekend, he's the same. He's youngest, which is a girl. He's like, have this, have Star Wars, have Star Trek, have everything. It's like, I will convert you to being in the way of the Jedi. He has so much like Star Wars stuff. It's unbelievable.
I just sorry, Arctic Games. I don't know how to switch it off. How do I switch off the Windows? I only recently upgraded to Google Chrome, so I'm pretty
okay.
Shit when it comes to computers.
So we have a question.
Yeah.
Let's do
next question. Yeah.
Okay, what are your orgs and what org mechanics we could expect in game to enhance the whole org experience?
That's a very good question, actually. Let's answer the first part. So, what org is everyone in? I have my own org, so I'm easy. I'm in the asylum, which is my own org. So one person org, just me on my own.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jester?
C-Rep.
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 Is that your org or is that someone else's?
That's my org. I started it because the guys who got me in the game all started the org with me, and it was like a week later. They're like, "Yeah, man, we're going back to PUBG. You get involved? Come on, man." It's like, "Yeah, no, you just got me into this. I'm gonna keep playing it now." So I started my own org and just started, recruiting people that were playing with me in the stream, and a lot of them continue just to bullshit with me every day in the Discord. So
that's good.
Nice.
Real quick,
for me,
man.
I'm in
sorry.
my own. Well,
let's go, and then
people have
yes.
asked me to make my own org, but we haven't got names, so it hasn't actually been created yet.
That's amazing.
but-
I would have thought you'd have had one, Miz, by now. Like, you know,
Well, I do, but I don't have
Terrible.
it created.
the Winnebago Club.
The Winnebago.
I don't know. What's it?
org.
What
That's
would be? What is? Is it like caravanning or something? Smuggling. Winnow smuggling. Awesome.
That's what it'll be.
But you don't have a name, so you don't have an org. Mrs.
We
is
still don't have a
literally
name, so I haven't created it.
Fully-
I've got a channel on my Discord where we're all discussing it, but we still haven't decided the name.
Do you know what? That's literally like D&D, just deciding on the character. It's like org is deciding on the name. Like this, deciding on the name for a podcast is just insanely difficult. Me and Miz must have
Makes a
spent
huge difference.
fucking. We have done so many iterations on names. We just keep coming back to the addicted one, going, well, you know, it's all right, isn't it? It's kind of good.
Addictive.
It makes sense. Addicted to Star Citizen. Yeah, okay, we'll keep with it.
But we'll think of a new one.
We need a new one. So please come up with some names and Eminem potentially. Who knows? The next question, part of that question was, what do we think would be good for orgs, like to make orgs better? Get rid of humans, because humans make orgs terrible.
A lot more ranks.
That's my view on orgs. People just end up getting bored and fighting with each other, and then everyone splits off into different orgs, and no one wants to talk to anyone. That's my experience.
Someone asked me what is the point of orgs, and at the moment there is, I suppose, to a certain degree, apart from social reason, there's nothing other than social. There's nothing, is there? Really? Did you say that some of you were practicing as an org, or?
A lot of us are practicing as an org. We're testing out, dynamics of cargo and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of the fighter guys will be in free flight, trying to get better against those guys that are pretty much, top 25.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like a slight advantage in an org in terms of getting prepared for when it goes like lives, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, because if somebody's it's like goes, oh man, I get my ass kicked in this all the time, and they're like, I think I'm going to get a freelancer. Well, our org is self-sufficient, so I don't want to rely on buying and other people's shit to move it or sell it. So our guys will have logistical jobs or mining.
Do you think with like a lot, you're not like the first, or quite a few orgs have kind of said that they want to be, I suppose they got multiple divisions is probably the easiest way of looking at it. So like mining, trading, whatever. Do you think there's going to be a lot of interaction between orgs, or do you think people are going to be more trying to keep within their own org and not bothering interacting with others?
No, I think that's where it's going to be a lot of interaction, because a lot of the orgs are not all on at the same time. So it's like when I'm flying, I fly a lot with Jolly, and I fly a lot with those guys. And then during the day, I fly a lot more with my American pilots, and so I kind of follow the globe as it goes.
Yeah,
and they allow me to fly with them. So, I mean, shit may change once 3.0 live goes. I don't know. I do have my own guys missling me while we're trying to run a test. It's like, damn it!
I mean, for me, the biggest thing that can be done to it, a few of the things that can be done, obviously simple things to improve, like guilds and orgs or whatever else, is the implementation of Spectrum and mobile communication, such as your iPhones and iPads and iTablets and all that kind of stuff, building apps and things that kind of all work seamlessly together within orgs. I mean, at the moment, it's very simple. We have Discord, that's where everything goes through. But really, you're not connected to the game through Discord. You're connected to the individuals, but you're not connected to the game. So being able to start to do transactions and whatever else things within the game through your phones, through Spectrum, advertisements, whatever it is, VoIP, face things, all that crazy shit. Once they start to implement all of that and put that in the mix, then it'll be interesting to see what goes on.
But they already have. Yeah, have you seen your communication, the little Wi-Fi symbol when you call it for ATC?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You get to see the distance of these people, and of course the buttons are blacked out right now, but you will eventually be able to click that and talk to them. So it's cool how they're implementing it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what. Yeah, it's coming. Hopefully. So, but yeah, once they get some of that stuff and more cool apps for my phone, basically, that's what I want because I've got no space on it. Next question. Do we have any more?
Next is Dakush. Oh fucking hell.
Try again.
Dak. Let's leave it at that. Dak asks, "Can I spam you with questions on the Cartual again?"
The Cartual.
Don't let Miserable announce names when he's been drinking.
Yeah, of course you can.
Don't let me announce names even when I haven't been drinking.
You can ask whatever you want on here. It's fine. I mean, obviously,
spam away. But we will have to end the broadcast at some point.
We will have to end it. But yeah, if anyone wants to ask questions, feel free. Go ahead.
Okay, so the prisoner asks the Hawk. I like the concept. What the fuck is wrong with me? Concept, but is it viable?
Right, go on, Jester. You take this one first.
About the Hawk being viable?
Yeah. What do you think of the Hawk being viable?
It's hard to know without the mechanics in game whether it's viable, isn't it?
I've been asked this question a lot lately, and I don't think it's gonna be viable as a single fighter. I think it's gonna be viable if there's more than one of them.
Right. You mean like a group of Hawks?
Yeah, just a group of Hawks. So maybe you got like 5 or something that can help disable a ship, and something larger can come along and actually put it out of its misery.
Madness made a good point. I think it was last week or something. In terms of like, if you had the Hawk, he said it was more kind of, it would work more like land based. So because like he was saying, if you capture a bounty, the chances are you're going to capture them while they're on the planet's surface rather than say in space on the plane on a ship. So the Hawk has more presence if you flew it over, say, like a planet surface, taking somebody out that way, and then obviously landing it and loading them up in that. But
we'll wait and see. I mean, the mechanics of being in space, obviously capturing people in space. I mean, it's all about being able to subdue your target. We still don't have any non-lethal ways of subduing a target. That's the reality, you know. Apart from an EMP, which is not going to help against a human because at the end of the day, you need to get that person, that individual, into the back of the Hawk, or in any bounty hunter is capturing a body. I mean, unless you can claim tokens like trophies or scalps. Back in the day, India, you'd scalp someone, you'd take it back and be like, hey, look, here you go. I've got 12 scalps here of Indians, or whatever. This is my reward. It's terrible. Don't get me wrong, but that's how you would claim your, your bounty, as it were. So you potentially, if you want to kill targets, you take back a trophy of them, whether it's a leg or maybe an arm or a finger or something. But if you want to take them back alive, which is what the Hawk clearly is designed to do, I just don't see. It's so specialized. It's single seater. It's just flying around a verse. Personally, I didn't buy one because it's just, I've got a Cutlass Blue, and I think I'll be able to do more with bigger ships anyway. Do you know what I mean? I just think for the money.
As like a kind of starter thing to get into it, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, I might own one. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. It's got an EMP, right? Hasn't it? A little one, from what I understand.
Yeah.
So it might be more useful. Maybe it might be like a really cheap ship, and after like big conflicts, people might end up, rather than using it for bounty hunting, you might be able to load up dead bodies into the back of it and cart these bodies and then salvage. It might be a really good salvage ship that can suck people up into the back of it. You can have, if you've got like 20 people who'll just, after a big fight or something, as bodies, and you just suck them all into the back of it, and then it might be really good for something that you don't think about. You know what I mean?
It's going to be great for the NPC bounties, but I think it's going to be horrible for player bounty.
Yeah, that's definite.
Because I hate to say, I'm not going easy. I'm just saying, kill me.
Yeah. Let's say the Hawk goes. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a huge. I love the designing, and I like the idea that the Hawks. The kind of the new design for the anvil and stuff, but I'm not a fan of what it could do right now. For the value, I mean, in game I'd buy one. It'd be fine. I'll have one in game. That's not a problem. It'll be a fun little ship to have.
Yeah, close you get a Cutlass Black for it for right now.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping that we'd get it on. I was thinking, maybe it'll fit on the Carrack as like a variant or something, like a scout variant. That would be kind of cool. But I think it's too wide to get on a Carrack. Even I think it's too wide to get in replace of the snub. So hopefully we'll get a new anvil snub, which will be quite fun to see. I look forward to seeing that. Does anybody else ASMR podcast question? Who knows? Makar Gaming, thank you. Good suggestion. Does anyone have any other questions? Feel free to ask them. With brackets questions, we'll go through them. I need to get into the question folder because Miz has disappeared and he normally answers the questions. So let me grab it open. Let me have a little look and see if we've got any other questions.
The next.
Oh yeah, go for it. Oh yeah, go. Oh, what a. Thank you. You just saved me.
The next question was from SquarePeg, and he said, "Well, we kind of answered it already, but have they verified the hardcover on the Jump Point magazine will be on sale again?" Which is yes. Jump Point 3 will be on sale on the 13th of December. So, well, kind of tomorrow, depending on what time zone you're in.
I will bring it up. I can bring it up on stream for you. There you go. There's the front.
And I sent you the link of the Jump Point, but
no, I can't send you the link.
So I can answer Dakush. Okay, I'm not gonna pronounce his name either.
Daku, yeah. See, so it's not just being drunk. It's just
it's Takeshi. Just think Takeshi. Dakishi.
Hey, I'm on 9 shots of vodka, dude. So
Jesus,
the was going down as well. It was a full bottle.
At least I'm just surrounded by. I said special. I said Christmas special. Get merry. These guys have got fucking wrecked. It's awesome.
I got very fucking merry. Don't worry about it.
So here is the This is the.
All good.
This is it here.
Yeah.
So Robert Space Media. This is the volume 3.
This is kind of what we were talking about before, and I want it, but I want the other ones as well. But I'm not paying fucking $200 for it. Jesus.
I don't want any Jump Point that Warden is on.
That's so expensive. That is so expensive. I so want that Jump Point. Why do you want this square peg? Why do you want it? Is it because it's got the what's so good about it? I don't understand what everyone's so.
It's all the. I think it's all the Jump Points that they've released, but in printed form for the year.
So they put everything, condense it all into literally like the Beano anniversary.
Kind of, yeah.
Just not for £10.
Not even.
Jester probably has no idea what I'm talking about. The Beano. Probably most of you Americans have no idea what the Beano is.
I was talking to my wife for a second. Sorry.
That's okay. Do you know what the Beano? Do you get the Beano in America? Dennis the Menace.
The digital version will be on Amazon. So.
Dennis the Menace.
No. Okay. You probably have a different Dennis the Menace, but never mind.
We have a real Dennis the Menace.
Have you seen that? They've remade Dennis the Menace, but he's no longer called Dennis the Menace in the UK. He's got to be called just Dennis or something.
Dennis the douche.
Is this political correctness again? Going crazy.
Pretty much, yeah. Fucking stupid. Anyway, where was we?
We divert. And the next questions. Anyone else? Brackets question.
Okay,
Aquila. Okay,
Aquila.
From... Oh, nice, good question. I'll put that.
That was the question I wanted to answer.
That's a good question.
Go on then.
All right, so CCU to Aquila, CCU Aquila to Carrick. Goodbye. Have a good one.
I've already done. I've got the CCU to from the Aquila to a Carrick. So
yeah, that's it. That's all you need to know. As soon as you can upgrade, use it. Get rid of it before beta because you won't be able to use it after beta.
Yeah, I've done it. The Aquila is well, the Aquila was my baby that I won at BritainCon, but the Carrick is just looks so good on paper. On paper.
And they both look really, really good, but it all depends upon how big your crew is going to be. And yeah.
I think I'll be able to afford an Aquila fairly quickly, so I think that won't be a problem. I think the Carrick would take a bit longer to get. So
have you changed your Aquila?
Not yet.
What are you planning on changing it to?
The Carrick. I've got the Carrick. I've got the Carrick CCU already, ready to go.
Okay.
So it's already out. Boom. Upgrade it to the Carrick. Yeah.
I'm doing the same thing. I got the Hawk to Aquila to Carrick CCUs.
But don't you think? I mean, are you planning on like multi-crewing it?
I'm gonna have to, aren't I? This is my only. You've actually raised. This is the biggest problem. It's a it's a 5-man seater, and I'm kind of a bit like, well, I'm a solo org. Is the Carrick the right choice of ship? Is the Carrick? Is the Carrick the right choice?
Anything more sadder than a solo org?
Well,
we're not going to steal out of the Connie's.
I've been in enough orgs recently. I can't do any more infighting. I'm just done with politics.
Do you want to come and join us, man? We haven't got a name yet, but you can come and join us.
That's actually the best. That's the best move, to go from other orgs to one that doesn't have a name. I like the idea of that. Nameless.
We don't have a name, but we have people. That's more important.
We don't even have a name for the podcast anymore. Shortly, right?
Maybe.
That as well.
We'll see. We'll see. That's not decided. That's just that's on the cards. It's on the cards. We're still the Addicted Podcast, and we will be for a long time. I'm sure. Just yet.
A long time, as in until after Christmas. You mean?
Until after Christmas, and we come up with a better name. No, I don't know. We don't know. I doubt that will change. I don't know. It's lots of things on the cards. What was the next question?
Sorry, I thought we were still on that one. Next one is from Mr. Square Peg. He says, what are your thoughts on serialized... Oh, fuck me, I'm too drunk for this. Serialized variables being in the current build. And then he's put a link.
I need to bring up, because you're getting shit-faced, and I need to keep on track of these questions, so hang on.
I'm not that shit-faced, Jesus.
He's so...
hello, everyone.
Slurring your words.
Yep. Salty balls.
We'll be doing a test of some hefty network changes for how information is updated to the player. For a short time after development. Note that these changes are brand new and will have... What the fuck?
What's he saying? What?
I don't know, really.
Hang on. I need to... let's have a look.
System specs.
It looks like basically they'll record all your information or something.
Right. Questions.
Okay, yeah, it's to do with having the display info up. So do you know when you press like display info 3 so you can see your FPS and all that sort of stuff?
Oh, right, yeah. Is this the serialized variables? Is this what you're talking about?
It's not that I can't read it. I'm not shit-faced that I can't read it. I'm just not sure what you're talking about.
You can't read all the letters.
A screenshot of your task manager sorted by memory usage, system specs, but please do not reply information.
Twice I've closed the wrong thing.
So what they're trying to just basically tell us is we're going to expect a lot of crashes in the next patch.
I don't know. I don't really know what he's asking.
He says, "What are your thoughts on serialized variables?" I don't have a problem with the more variables and more information, these type of things that are in builds. I don't have a problem.
Can you just explain to me what serialized variables is?
I will find out for you. I'll Google it right now.
Exactly. You just said you have no problem with them being in.
Well, I was under the impression that serialized variables were the similar type. Isn't that the similar thing that the guy was talking for the voice thing, which he put into that gives you information? So when the guys do the voice, is it voice attack? Is that the one? That serialized variables were that. So it's information and then the voice attack can take the serialized information. Is that right? Or am I going completely wrong? Am I way off base? Am I way off base? I thought that's what it was.
I thought the serialized variables was to do with the network code.
It's written and stored human readable form. Is that what it is? Is written and stored human readable form.
Why are you asking us this?
He just wants to see how rubbish we are. That's what it is.
It's like
these testers. It's like
a chink in our armor. Is that we have no fucking clue.
I don't know. What do you want us to actually know what we're talking about?
Serialized what?
Serialized variables. I'm interested though now. In computer science, the context of data storage serialization is the process of translating data structures or object state into a format that can be stored, for example, in a file or a memory buffer, or transmitted, for example, across a network and reconstructed later. There you go.
But it's bare of red, and he's asking it, but I don't. Right, he linked to this.
Why is it bad? I mean, like, the way I look at it is why is it bad that they are getting information and sending it? I can't see a problem. Like, for me, more information for them, more information for us is good, right? It means that they can keep track of bugs and, you know, performance issues and all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean?
I mean, the link he posted, I think it's to do
range
with
calling, major network improvements,
people that were playing within a certain time frame. So it's like the initial 1.5 hours of it going live or something.
Okay.
Why do you do this to us? Who asked it?
No, but it's good though, because I'm learning. So thank you guys. I mean, I just ignore, like, I mean, I'm not a computer person. I don't make computers. I'm learning. I love the fact that you guys teach me this stuff. So whether I look like an idiot or not, I like the fact that you teach me some stuff. I might get 10% of what's been said, but that's 10% more I know now than I did 10 minutes ago. So that's good.
Here is what they have added in the most recent patch: serialized variables, range culling, and major netcode improvements.
Okay. And he says, limiting the serialization of the data allows it to be looked up faster. Massive SKU database for a company would be serialized. A video game dictionary can be, but never is because it is not needed. CryEngine itself can do this by default, but no one has ever needed to enable it. So they're enabling it now, is what you're saying? And people are wondering why? Is that what we're getting to? I mean, maybe this is something for another time. We can kind of come back to this. I think this is a good question. Let's go to another question. We'll come back to that.
You carry on. Understand what I don't know.
You guys carry on, and I'll pick up on it, and I'll make some notes.
Okay, Daku is saying, a real question for you rather than the Cartual spam. I currently have an Aquila, 6 months insurance. It's attached to a pledge with physical merchandise, so I can melt it, but I'm wondering if to stick with the Aquila or upgrade to a Karak. First of all, don't melt anything that has physical package to it, because you'll lose the physical package.
Yeah.
So don't melt it. Whatever you do, you can upgrade, but do not melt.
Light it on fire!
Don't melt it. Don't
burn
melt
it. Burn it.
Don't melt it.
Before you melt it, send it to me.
Yes.
That's my answer. No. Should you upgrade to a Karak? See, this is kind of what we just said just then. In terms of, it depends on your group size. Like, I think the Constellation is more able to be flied as flown as one or two people. I think the Karak, you're starting to look at having a proper multi-crew to do it.
Yeah, 3 to 5 people, I'd say, probably.
Yeah,
to run it well.
Because that's part of the reason. I think I got a CCU to it, but I think I melted it because honestly I don't think I could. It's not a solo ship. It's increased so much in size that I don't think it's that much of a solo ship.
Okay. He can't melt it. He didn't say he can melt it. He said he can't.
Oh, hang on.
So
sorry. Physical merchant, so I can't melt it. Okay, sorry, I misread that.
Sorry.
But I'm wondering if to stick with the Aquila or upgrade to a Karak.
It's the kind of same question.
The same. It depends whether you plan to play. See, so for me, I plan to play probably mostly in my org/group of people. But like any MMO, I still have periods where I want to do some solo stuff. So it depends a little bit on what you would have. If you're kind of similar, for example, then have a ship that's good for solo and have a ship that's good for grouping. Now, if this is your package and the only thing you've got to ask yourself whether you're gonna fly more in a group constantly. I honestly don't think a Karak is a good solo ship. I don't know what you guys think, but that's my opinion.
I think okay, so there's a few things here. It's just like, one is like Miz touched on it a little bit then with the end of what he was saying there is, you know, how many other ships do you have? Because you've got to think about when you start the game, you're going to start the game at the same kind of level as most people. We're all going to come out the gates in the game, not unless you've got lots of money and you buy lots of UEC. We're all going to probably start off in Auroras and Mustangs and stuff and try and generate enough revenue.
Let's face it, people back in this early are probably going to will probably buy UEC.
Yeah, we'll have to in order to run these big ships initially, because there's no way that we'll be able to run the running costs and whatever else it is to get them going. You'll need to. It's like all games that you go back to that you're halfway through. you usually end up not being able to pick the game up again, because if you've been away from a game for so long, trying to pick it up again halfway through just feels alien, unless you're really clever and like remember everything. I usually have to go, fuck it, I'm starting again so I can remember all the shortcuts and the keys and the way things.
I've logged in games that are years old, and I end up not playing them because I think, I'm going to get back into this, and I look at it and I think, I have no fucking clue what I'm doing.
Exactly. So you have to restart again, and it's like, I can't be bothered. So then you don't bother playing it, or you restart, and that's the kind of the way I look at it. So the reality is that I have a CCU for a character because it's not always available to buy the character unless you buy it through the grey market, and I don't like buying things generally through the grey market if I can help it. I wish CRG just enabled us to buy all the ships. They don't, so I have to buy it at this particular time. So that's the only reason why I did the CCU. And I mean, Jester's a similar sort of thing. He's got CCUs. I think a few of us have bought, buy things because we're not sure yet, but we don't want to miss an opportunity to have something that's going to be good and that we know will be nice.
We can't fly the Carrack right now. I can fly the Aquila right now, but if somebody ends up only having a Carrack and I get it and I like it, then I am going to CCU up to that. But then again, I also have 47 people in my org, and I know at least I can man that one. And if we go down, somebody else in our org has another Carrack. But I also push in, and I get my UEC every couple of weeks. I'll add a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that's spot on. I think for me, I'm a solo org at the moment, but I do have friends. My biggest issue at the moment is everyone I speak to is, do you have a Carrack? Yeah, I've got a Carrack. You got a Carrack? I've got a Carrack. You got a Carrack? I've got a Carrack. It's like everybody's got a Carrack. I'm like, so when are you going to come on my Carrack? Because you've all got Carracks. Is anyone?
What makes me laugh is it's kind of flavour of the month. Like when the Pioneer came out, everybody all of a sudden bought a Pioneer, and then it's not even in game, but within a week, people are melting it for buying other ships
to have the credits for the anniversary sale. Yes, I mean we had 9 Pioneers in our org out of 47 people, so that was almost 20% of our org.
It's crazy.
Had Pioneers, and so now we have 2 left. So okay, that means we can man at least 2 of them.
Yeah, and I mean I've just recently started. I've never touched the whole melting buyback game, and then this Sal. I think Lord Sheegan, I think that's how he's pronounced his name, kind of told me about melting and just keeping a few tokens as buyback. So, like, it's not unknown that I like certain type of ship and I'm looking for a certain type of one. But I bought now in this Sal ships that I've melted just so I have the buyback in case things change and I think, that is actually the ship I want. And I think that's what a lot of people have ended up doing in terms of getting the ships. They've basically bought them, melted them, because there's no point having when the ship's not actually in game yet. There's no point just having them sitting in your hangar. You might as well melt and have something that's available, but you've got the buyback option, which I think, like you said, you had like the hammerheads, the cyclones, everything, like a big stock of them, so you can buy them back when you need them. But there's no point just sitting there having them in your hangar as such.
Well, the other reason why I have a lot of them in buyback is when occasionally I'll do those raffles where you can't get those ships or those cyclones or whatever, and I have like 26 Hawks in buyback right now, and so they all come with an LTI, which is a nice LTI token for a larger fighter.
Yeah.
So.
Well, this is it exactly. It's people like those LTI tokens. I mean, judging on what I've seen with terms of insurance and stuff, I'm not sure it really that matters that much, honestly.
When you've got 5 years, I can't remember how many months it was now in the latest Sal, but people, if they think that LTI is different to that, they're sorely mistaken. Unless they're planning on handing their ships down to the grandkids.
Yeah. Like
the 5 years of insurance is. Like we talked about it before, but the play time that you need, the actual, because it's supposed to run on your physical login play time, is ridiculous amount of time. The 5 years insurance is easily equivalent to
that's nearly 43,800 hours of gameplay.
Yeah, which is, I used my dad as an example before because he plays Farming Simulator. And he almost like religiously plays it daily, and he's got different versions, but even each year one version is like 2,000 hours max, and that's like almost playing it daily. So to get 48,000 is crazy.
If you play that daily for 8 hours a day, that's a job. You're still doing that for 5,475 days.
Exactly, but to get close to that in Star Citizen it's just going to take you forever. It's LTI, whether you like to think of it as that or not. It is really.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. I mean, I was talking to Chav, and Chav was saying that somewhere they were saying that this is probably the last time they're ever going to do a sale of that.
You think?
I can't imagine them doing an anniversary sale for six years.
That's what he said. That's what his thoughts on it. I don't know if I don't know if it's confirmed. I mean, he was just mentioning it that somewhere.
Why do you think not, Jester?
Well, why? Because the original backers had LTIs, and now the first year was 1 year insurance, second year. So now you're starting to pay off for all these people that are just now getting in the game. So the original backers are kind of getting screwed.
Yeah, it's kind of time to, in my opinion, like it should stop.
But why is this 5th year one? Why is that any different to LTI?
Well, I mean, just because LTI should only come on concepts. That's a fact. I mean, that's what I've always understood. And then in 5 year, if you, like I said, you play that for 8 hours a day, nonstop, 8 hours a day, that's 15 years of in-game play before that 5 years expired.
Exactly. So why? But what makes you think? Why would you say that?
I don't. I can't imagine, because you're just screwing your original backers that put the money in for those original.
But isn't the 5 years doing that as well?
Well, yeah, it is. But I'm just saying, anything past this it's just screwing it.
The whole insurance thing is kind of a bit.
I think what's happened is they originally thought LTO would be a nice thing for early backers, and I think it's kind of gone out of control. And now they've made it so that insurance is it's not going to have almost like zero play in the game, to be honest.
3.0 was supposed to be out last year, the original 3.0. And I was suspecting that they would want to be in beta right now, so they would never even need a 5-year plan.
But to me, I mean, I melted a shitload of stuff because buying it on the 5-year plan is easily just the same as LTI to me. It was like people going, I'm not buying it unless it's LTI. And to me, it's like, well, trust me, unless you're handing these to your grandkids, these purchases that you're buying with 5 years insurance is easily equal to LTI.
What say insurance again for me, please?
5 years insurance.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, you said insurance. I wasn't
sure.
I wasn't sure if you were referring to insurance.
No, 5 years insurance.
That's why I was when you mix the beer with your drink, buddy.
It is. It is.
Oh my god! And okay, next question. Next question before we close up. I think. No, we're doing. How many more questions have we got? Any left?
Oh, they keep coming. Coffee.
Keep coming in. Nice one, boys.
What ship would Santa fly on his Xmas Eve trip if Slay was in the shop?
In the shop. It would be probably lots of dragonflies, right? And a couple of Noxes out front going on crazy.
Just like 12
dragonflies out front.
It would be a Cutlass black with no motors being pulled by dragonflies.
That would be. Someone's got to do that. Please, somebody go away now. If there's anyone that's really creative and do a fucking red, you should do that. It'd be the Cutlass red with dragonflies. Pink, or maybe one pink one at the front.
Have you taken out the pink dragonfly yet?
Yeah, I've taken it out. How about you, Jester?
Only because I had to.
You taking the pink dragonfly? You pinking the Star Kitten dragonfly for a spin?
No, because I missed that referral by one. I refused to fly it.
Whoa! Wow.
I've got a fair amount of referrals, but I got 0 during the competition, which is a bit shit. I still got 12 waiting. But fucking bastards. Not that I actually want the not that I want the pink dragonfly.
Pink. I'd like a pink saber. Have a pink. That'd be awesome.
I'm sure you would. Next one is the prisoner.
Yep.
A small salvage ship, fine, but I don't see the concept compared to a normal ship with storage.
Is this the vulture? Is he talking about?
I presume so. Yeah. Because I've already voted for this small salvage ship, but really, if you actually listen to the details, it was a ship that you then go out in EVA, you salvage, and then you drag
with hand tools.
Hand tools. So it's just a fucking cargo ship.
I'm alright with a bit of hand tool action. The game's slow as it is, so we may as well carry on with a bit more slowness. I think everyone needs to just, get all their panties and put them back on properly, because the reality is all of these ships that they're talking about will come to us anyway. So whether we get the Vulture first, the fucking Carrack second, it really doesn't matter. The Vulture we can afford. That's the reality. More people can afford the Vulture up front. So for me, it makes sense. Let's have some cheaper, affordable ships out front. The bigger ships can come a bit later. It's fine.
I would have voted for the scout carrier if in fact it was a scout carrier, but the way they were describing it was a truck stop, like in the movie Spaceballs with the guy in the alien coming out the chest.
Get drunk.
I was like, yeah, no pass.
Get drunk as you want, mate.
I don't know about the alien coming out the chest, but I kind of like the whole floating space truck thing. Like if you had that as an org, that's quite a useful chip. But the Vulture thing, I don't think people really listen to the detail. They just heard the whole
small salvage ship.
A small salvage ship, yeah.
Here's the problem: we don't have enough single player ships for those single solo players to get on and play the game.
We need more. I mean, that's why they're bringing them. Think about it. The Hawk. This new single ship. We've got a few fighters. You've got the Titan Avenger. I would say the Cutlass you could potentially still play, obviously, and fly around as a single person if you want to comfortably without a problem. It's about as big as it goes, isn't it? Really, the Cutlass, the Freelancer maybe, but they're designed to have a few more people with you. But single. Let's list them. That's good single multi-crewing. Oh, not multi-crewing, but multi.
That makes no sense at all.
Not multi-crewing. Sorry,
multi-crew ships.
Not multi-crew. I mean multi-task. Shut up, fuck off. I know. Yes.
The single multi-crew ships.
Let's single the single.
I'm hiring a bunch of NPCs. Fuck it.
What are you fucking talking about?
I'm so glad this is a professional podcast.
Madness, you only been drinking water, haven't you?
Yeah, I've just been on water. No, this is just my general state of brain. It's just rubbish.
General state of ignorance.
Just general state of just pure stupidity. No, I mean like multitasking. I don't mean fucking crewing. I mean like what ships can do multiple. Like the Avenger can do cargo running, and it's a little bit of a combat ship. It's got a few uses, like a mini Cutlass.
The Aurora, I suppose.
The Hawk, you can kind of do bounty hunting and combat technically, and EMP.
Well, no, the Hawk was meant to be about so that was what they were pigeonholing it.
Because you got the Reclaimer, and that's more like in-game reclaiming versus you need something smaller to get into that. You just can't go straight to it and expect to carry cost.
Yeah.
I think the problem is with this Vulture is they're talking about like a small salvage ship, but they haven't even got the salvage mechanic in.
I want to see something like this ship they had in the Chronics of Riddick.
Oh yeah, dude, that would be sick. Actually, yeah.
The last one.
Yeah. Another one you're about. It's cool. Very cool. Actually, I like. I like many of the ships, to be honest. I mean, I like the cargo ship in the first one with Pitch Black when it all starts ripping apart. It reminded me of the Caterpillar.
Yeah.
When it's crashing. Actually, talk about crashing, just whilst we're briefly on it. And the crashing mechanics at the moment, it's bouncing. The ship kind of comes in and it bounces. It doesn't really crash. There's not really.
No.
There's not a crash mechanic as such.
Hit a boulder. I have blown up hitting boulders. Hitting the ground, I'll bounce.
I have blown up.
Blew up with the dragonfly crash to the ground. That blew up.
I have blown up a few times, but generally, on the whole, I tend to find I'm bouncing a lot, which is. I'm sure eventually they'll maybe fix that, but I'm. Someone posted on Reddit, which was quite an interesting one. They showed the picture of the Star Trek Enterprise when it crashes into the trees, and the trees kind of get all crushed up, and it kind of grows through and grinds in. I mean, and we're talking about Riddick and the first one when the ship crashes and kind of disintegrates and lands in the ground and stuff. And I would like to see a bit more of that. I've seen a few people posting some of their crash, you know, their near crashes of their Aquillas and wrecked ships, and it kind of looks like it's there, but it's not quite there. So I'm looking forward to seeing it for the future. In the future,
I don't think we're going to get that sort of crashing. Because the way they've designed the planets,
it's very hard to do, right?
They don't want to have us impact them. Like, so, do you know, like you've seen some games that they have like the voxels that you're actually digging away at the planet.
Yeah.
But they don't want us to do that. So I think having a big ship, although like, we have the big explosion, but I don't think it'll have that impact on the actual planet itself.
It would be super cool if they could figure out how to do it, though.
Oh yeah, I mean,
like if you could make the voxels thick, if you could make the voxels like a depth of voxels, so when you kind of like land into something, it kind of creates like a. I mean, in visual effects, like it's seriously like
you get a fucking big ship and crash it, you would kind of hope that it would make a dent, right?
Yeah.
It would be nice if they do that, but they kind of haven't got it set out like that at the moment.
No. And it would be just cool for the future, like if you could have thick, you know, densities, and then it might be that sprint could lead to densities of like atmosphere and stuff as well. You know, I was talking earlier, like how awesome will be when we come into planets where you can go through, you know, like it'd be all clear skies, and then you come through dense, thick clouds.
The thing is, there'd be so many mis-spaced.
And lightning, and then like, you know, be like, again, just be super cool. Anyway, that's a long way away yet. That's just stuff for the future. Any more questions?
So
before we
I think from the prisoner, he was asking about, you know, compared to a normal ship with the storage and the salvage ship. I don't know, with this new Vulture, do you think it's worth it over having just a normal salvage, a normal like cargo ship, and kind of scrapping it and bringing it in yourself? Next.
Well, maybe if the actual salvage was like attached to the side of the ship, that we actually
the ship has to function. The ship has to do something for that salvage to make it worthwhile. Otherwise, why bother with that over salvage?
So yeah, definitely like a little side turret. Maybe it's only on one side, or a top turret, and you can only use that top turret to actually interact. But you still have to go outside to pick up the parts. No.
Yeah, it's salvage is a hard one in that respect. Like how you kind of pull it apart and what bits you can grasp from that.
Yes, how do you pull it apart? How do you put it back together again? How do you make it fit into the back of your ship neatly and tidily, so things like we were saying don't fall through the floor? Because at the moment when we are moving things and stuff, you know, it's either attached to your hand for too long, or it falls through the floor, or you suddenly it lands on the ground, you can't pick it up properly, or you know, it's like, you know, all that kind of stuff needs to be sorted out for salvaging and mechanics and stuff. So they've got a long way to go for that to work, but I'd like like I said, tractor beams or a really big Santa Claus sack kind of works fine for me.
A sack of holding.
Really big sack of holding.
Okay,
whip it
next
out.
one was the square peg. He says, what are your thoughts on AWS servers in Africa? I know some citizens in South Africa. Well, funnily enough, our D&D is now built with 3 South Africans.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Half our group is full of South Africans. So they do like the game. But I did see something that Amazon were opening up some form of server for South Africa.
I think that more servers for around the world to get more people into the game can't be anything but a good thing. So I would like there to be servers all over the world so people can enjoy this great game when it becomes super bug free eventually. But I just want people to enjoy it. So yeah, everywhere.
Going back to the Vulture, this is how I think it actually should look. You guys can laugh at me.
You put it in Discord?
Yeah, I put it in Twitch.
Hang on, where is it? You put it in, where'd you put it?
Where'd you put it?
General.
Okay, on Twitch. No, he's put it on Twitch.
Put it on...
No, that's just load of Cyclone.
Just like the Clone Wars. I think it looks something like that, and those guns up top should be the actual reclaiming tools. So maybe something about the size of a Cutlass.
Commando
concept. Holes, cargo.
The problem is that's just linked to a load of Star Wars stuff.
We haven't
not
seen
a ship.
I think that I know the one you're on
should
about.
be the top one is the ship.
Top left, the Republic one, yeah?
Yeah,
Left.
The Republic Commando one. The one with the weird, looks like kind of tits on the front, right? With the guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. Say tits, everyone gets it. Tits. Yeah, that one for me, do you know what's interesting is that for me has always felt a bit like the Cutlass, actually, because it's got the side doors. It's kind of felt like it's...
always. We just got the Cutlass with side doors, so...
It's always had side doors in my head, the Cutlass. That's when they redesigned it, I was just like, yeah, of course, it's the A-Team. Look, it just needs a big red stripe on the side of it.
That's what I'm saying. The problem with the Cutlass is it's so much better than the Freelancer. The fact that you can open those side doors, the fact that it's got... It feels like it's got my cargo, even if it hasn't. It feels like it does. It feels like it's easier to navigate. You've got the turret in the middle section, the pilot and the co-pilot. It just feels so much better than the Freelancer.
Okay, so we've got 2 more questions and we're going to call it, guys. The first question is, which do you like better, ham or bacon?
Bacon.
This was
obviously distressed bacon, preferably.
Yes, I can do both.
Okay, so the last question is from Daku, and he says, so I have the 10 referral Gladius, but I prefer and own a Saber. Should I upgrade it to a Cutlass Black before the price jump? Do you mean should you upgrade the Gladius or should you upgrade the Saber?
You can't upgrade the Saber because the Saber's above the price of the Gladius. Above the
price
of yeah, it's 180 quid a Saber.
So the key thing to know about the Gladius is once you upgrade it, you cannot melt it. So I've got the referral, and I upgraded it to a Buccaneer, and I cannot melt back. So you're literally if you decide to change it, you're stuck with that change.
He has the referral one, or he just has the Gladius?
The referral one, I think he said.
Oh yeah, if you have the referral one, just keep it. That is actually a very decent fighter in 3.0.
Yeah, in my opinion, I would keep it to the Gladius. Unless you've got like a clear aim that you're trying to change that ship into, I would keep it as a Gladius.
I mean, unless you horribly suck at dogfighting, but you got probably the better dogfighters for 3.0. I would say better.
The thing is, I upgraded mine to a Buck, and now I'm kind of thinking that the Buck doesn't suit me, so I kind of want a Super Hornet. But I think obviously the referral Gladius comes with like 6 months insurance, so if you're looking at it on times of insurance purpose, it's not a great ship.
Okay, so I'm gonna say something on this because I have both of these as well, and I fly both of them and enjoy both ships. Okay, so firstly, you are talking about that you prefer the Saber over the Gladius, whether that's to do with the feel or anything. The Gladius obviously has had a big buff this patch, so I would hold tight with the Gladius, see how it performs. If you like combat, you sound like you like combat if you like a Gladius and a Saber, so I would say hold tight. I agree completely with the guys. I think your plan with your referral stuff, if you get more referrals and it gives you more ships, then that's great, but I would say it doesn't. Okay, so I would say just
no. I think at the end of the day, I think with the Gladius, unless you're 100% sure the ship you're upgrading it to is the one you want, stick with the Gladius, because that's what I've made the mistake of. I've upgraded it to a Buccaneer, and now I kind of wish I didn't, because I was gonna upgrade it to the Reliant news van, but it's too expensive compared to the Buccaneer, so it doesn't work. So I think just stick with the Gladius until you're 100% sure this is the ship I want, and then maybe upgrade it. But otherwise, just keep the Gladius and see how it goes for you.
You can always try and win stuff. Is always a good. I always say to people, if you're not sure and you haven't got enough money to buy like a Cutlass or whatever, just get in people's streams like Jester. He's always giving away free shit. So
there's like on Twitch alone, there's like 12 Cutlass Blacks going before the end of the month.
Yeah, you've got a good chance of winning something somewhere, even if it's like a hanger flare.
What you can do is buy the CCU from Gladius to whatever ship you're thinking of, because you can melt that.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep it, and then if you eventually want to try it, and you can use that Gladius. But honestly, I found out the hard way. But I think they changed it. I don't know when they changed it, but they definitely changed it because it used to be able to melt it, but basically you cannot melt your referral ship. So that Gladius, depending on what you change it to, you are locked into whatever you change it to. So I changed mine to a buck. I'm now 100% locked into a Buccaneer unless I either upgrade from a Buccaneer. Well, that is my only choice. I can't melt it. I can't go back to the Gladius. I'm stuck with the Buccaneer.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, the Buccaneer's not a bad ship either.
No, it's good.
No.
That will kick out a ton of DPS in 3.0.
Like, before you melt it across, or CTU or whatever, be sure that that's the ship you want. Because you can't go
backwards.
And I mean, I haven't tried contacting the support and referring it back. But in terms of going into your account and melting it, you cannot change it. So kind of be sure that that's what you want to change it to.
But congratulations, by the way, on getting 10 referrals. That's well done. Good job.
I've got more than that, but yeah.
Not just you, for the gentleman in saying. Well done.
Yeah, for
anyone that gets 10 referrals. I mean, I've only got 5 referrals. I haven't even got 5.
It was awesome that you get that sort of shit for free. 100%.
Yeah, it's a good target to try and get to, is to kind of get to 10 referrals. I mean, to get yourself a Gladius, like I said, it's got size 3 hard points. It's a good fighter. It's all rounder. In Squadron 42, it's going to be it's going to be your starting probably combat ship that you're going to learn to fight in.
What, the Gladius, you think?
Pretty much, yeah. I would say so.
Probably going to be an entry, then you'll probably get up to the F7A.
And then, or the Saber. It depends. We'll see.
I don't think until later chapters.
For stealth missions, they'll probably put you in for stealth, understanding and learning stealth. I reckon you'll get given the Saber. But yeah, I think you're right. It'll be Gladius, and then probably moving on to the F7s, the Anvil Hornets, and all that stuff, which should be quite fun. Maybe you'll end up with the F8, which should be cool.
Personally, I think unless you need to use it as an upgrade, I would stick it at Gladius, because obviously there's so many restrictions on that it's better to keep it as a ship it is until you're 100% sure that you don't like it. You know what I mean?
Just do what Miserable said, get the CCU and hold on to it.
Yeah.
This is what we all do. We're all doing, and a lot of people do it. If you're not sure, get a CCU. If you've got the money, put it there, and then you can, wait.
Captain Carrot, you physically cannot melt it. So when you were able to melt it, it was actually worth nothing. But now you physically, if you click on the Gladius referral, whatever you've got it changed to, you cannot melt it at all.
There is no melt button now for that Gladius.
They've taken it away completely because it's not worth anything to melt. So even though I've upgraded to a buck, I can't even melt the upgrade. I've literally lost any change to it. I either CCU up from it or I stick with the buck. That's my only options.
Okay, so that's the end of questions, guys. That's the end of questions, because we ran a little bit later because obviously we had all that problems to start with.
Yeah.
Which we won't mention. I'll do a wonderful job of editing it this evening, and no one will even know that it even happened.
What problems?
What problems are you talking about? So yeah, thank you for everyone that's turned up this evening, as always. Thank you so much. Love you all. Yeah, really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us tonight. I hope you've enjoyed the show. And we will see you again maybe next Monday. Maybe. We weren't sure.
Probably will.
I think we've got a few big people who'd like to come on next week, so we will see. We'll see what happens. So keep posted on Twitter and stuff. This was going to be our last one for the year, but we will. Looks like we've been roped into another one.
Fuck, look at my Twitter.
Madness.
Was a full bottle before I started.
By the way.
What is that? What's that?
I posted a picture in your Discord. That's the Gladius reward. There's no melt button anymore.
No, it literally isn't. To be honest, unless you're, like I said, unless you're 100% sure you want to convert it to something and you're going to stick with that ship, I would keep it as a Gladius and wait. Just because now I wish I kind of could convert mine to a news van and stick at that, but I can't do that because the news van is cheaper than the Buccaneer, so I can't change it. So honestly, keep it as it is. Keep it as it is until you're 100% sure.
Okay.
100% sure.
Exchange for credits.
No, you can't exchange for credits.
Nothing. No, that's something different. I sent it in Discord, man.
General
Discord.
Show the wrong one, man. That's a good idea, mate.
Sorry, I thought that was what you were talking about.
Freelancer miss.
He was literally saying that you can't exchange it for credits, and you showed the wrong.
Sorry, wrong one. My bad. Sorry. I thought I was. Hey, we've all been drinking this evening. What can I say?
I'm fucked.
There it is. That one.
This is like the addicted Christmas party, basically.
This is literally just yeah.
Yeah. So as chat's already saying, but make sure you give Jester a follow, guys. We appreciate you coming and joining us. Really appreciate. If you go, all of you watching, go and give him a follow.
Yes, check out. You stream. What times do you stream, Chav? Chav, fucking hell, I'm giving up. I'm going home.
What did you fucking call me?
Jester. Sorry, Chav was in chat and I was reading him at the same time.
I was going to start between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. Pacific.
Give him a follow.
8 hours behind you guys. So in about 2 hours.
2 hours, he'll be back on it.
In about 2 hours.
Back on it.
I was
back on it. And you're moving into your new place soon, I hear?
Yeah, so I won't be streaming the 21st or 22nd, as I'll be moving into a much larger house for the four of us.
And will they have the internet already set up for you before you arrive?
Yes, they will be there at 8 to 10 a.m. On the 22nd while I move in the truck, and wife will stay at the house waiting for them.
Nice. That's literally the priority, isn't it, really? For
that's the first person I called. So it's
internet immediately the day you arrive must be working.
Exactly. My missus was talking about moving, and I was like, as long as it's got the internet and fiber internet, I'll move. If it hasn't, fucking forget it.
The funniest thing ever when we were doing our walk around the new house, the previous owner, or the owner who's basically leasing it to us, has a piece of paper over the cable outlet, and it says, "You have a 4 gigabyte download, or it's 4 megabyte download speed," and so happy trails, blah blah. I said, "This ain't gonna fucking cut it."
It's weird, isn't it? It's like I remember when I first looked for a house, we were looking for south-facing gardens, and we come in and like with a compass, and the estate agent would look at us like, "The fuck have you brought a compass for? Oh, we want a south-facing garden." So we go, but now it's like, just tell me the internet connection. Can I have fiber? Can I have decent download? Otherwise, fucking forget it. I'm not moving here.
I won't move anymore up the hill because the internet just gets worse.
Exactly.
Okay, so if you guys want more, obviously I'll be streaming probably a little bit less this week. I'm not sure. I think I got a deadline for my shoe designing this week, so I'll be streaming not as much. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, and if you're crazy, like the content of what we do, or what I do and what we do, give us a follow, of course, but follow us on Twitter and we'll keep you posted what we're up to. But we will definitely, without question, be doing Stout and Sturdy, the addicted podcast.
It's got nothing to do with addicted whatsoever.
The Dungeons, I swear this is just the worst. Dungeons and Dragons thing that Miz does. I'm just so drunk right now. I'm done. Friday at 8:30. 8:30 on a Friday night, GMT. So I don't know what time that is in American time, but like I said, if you like us and you want to see me behave like an idiot and Miz do some amazing voice acting, come check it out.
That's about 12:30 our time in California.
Yeah.
What you mean?
Just listen to it on your day at work. You don't know what you do. He does a good Gollum.
Dobby hasn't like this pasta.
Dobby, that was it, Dobby.
Yes. We had a few impressions. I'm gonna have to work on my voiceovers.
Yeah, God, tell me that. It's hard.
Anyway, guys, as Manny says, thanks, guys, for as always following us, following the cast and guests that come on, and we really appreciate it. New year will bring new stuff. Hopefully bigger and better. We'll keep trying to improve.
Cocoa Bex is
but we appreciate the support all the same.
Salty and Miserable, thanks for having me.
It's been a pleasure, mate. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hopefully next time it will run really, really smoothly.
We probably do it next Monday, although it's kind of up in the air at the moment. But yeah.
It's we're just. Is anyone else having problems with their Twitch? By the way, I don't know about you guys, but I've been having like issues with like loading in, finding my screen. Like, does anyone else get it freezing up and things in terms of like being able to bring down the drop downs and stuff on your browser?
Seems okay. Okay.
Maybe I just need to update something because I can't seem to get. So that's just, you know, wow, that's completely gone. It's not working. It's not working. Miss is struggling. You're right there, mate.
No, you said I'm not having any problems with Twitch. As far as I can tell.
It's fine. It's just on my one on this end. It seems to be okay on the other ones.
No, it to be fine.
Alright, who shall we host?
Dr. Drones?
Yeah, I'll throw you guys over to Drones. Alright guys, peace out. Host, go check out Dr. Drones. We'll see you all Monday.
See you next Monday.
See you guys.
Probably.
Later.
Take care, guys.
Cheers, guys. Wow. Should be live. Over. I hope.
I'll just give you a heart sign.
Cannabis.
Oh, guys, I'm so sorry about that earlier. Such a shame. We would have been fucking awesome as well.
That was pretty good, man.
No. The problem is you need rhythm, you need momentum, and the problem is when you break up a show like that for like over an hour, you just lose the rhythm. That's the problem. Like normally, you get like 80 to 100 people watching, but I knew immediately once we broke the rhythm, people move off to other channels and then they're gone. Do you know what I mean? And
it's just me. Most people are salty with me because I kill them in the verse.
No, really? No, nothing to do with you, mate. No, it's just purely down to rhythm. When you try to get a show going, it's just like, it's so frustrating. So frustrating.